We're
Good evening and welcome to South Warren High School. Warren County Public School Sports Network, Mike Cleff and Steve Sanders. As you can tell, we are about ready to tip off. And we have a girls-boys basketball doubleheader tonight between a pair of Warren County Public Schools rivals. The Lady Dragons win the opening tip. This is a rematch between both teams. South Warren winning the first game between these two girls programs, and Warren Central winning the opening boys matchup. We're just underway as Warren Central misses the first shot there, and Warren Central getting the rebound. That's Ida Akhmedova, and she's going to get called for traveling. Steve, good evening.
Good evening.
What are
Good
your
to be here.
Yeah, what are your thoughts heading into this doubleheader?
Well, you know, South Warren's been solid all season. We've seen them several times. Actually, they're undefeated every time we broadcast them. So, you know, I don't know which one of us is their good luck charm, but it's worked. Warren Central, you know, they got off to a tough start this season, but every game that we've seen them do, they've gotten better. And, you know, they got a great starting backcourt with Kennedy Robinson and Ida Akhmedova. They work hard. Ida is a tremendously skilled guard, and I look forward to a good game.
We're going to get a foul and 2 free throws there. That will be Kaya Mitchell. Again, you're just joining us. We have a girls-boys basketball doubleheader. We have a variety of platforms that you can join us on. Steve brought his iPad. You can definitely catch us on our school district's website at warrencountyschools.org, as the first free throw by Kaya Mitchell is a little bit short. The boys' game to follow. Before we talk more about this game, Steve, I do want to follow up on our first ever live stream last night from the Aquatic Center. Special thanks to Tony Rose, the legendary local radio personality, the Hall of Famer. But, Steve, I don't know about you. That was a memorable night.
We had a blast. Tony's always great. And, you know, he broadcasting is his cup of tea. So, you know, it was great to have him on there. I felt kind of in awe. You know, I'm the novice on doing this, but, you know, Tony can talk about anything at any time and make it sound great.
And I'll tell you what was great. He promoted so many swimmers. And, my goodness, Steve, we have a lot of talented swimmers in this area.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're still waiting for our first points of the game. As Steve mentioned, and I had a chat with Coach Lane Embry of South Warren before the game. I said, you ought to add Steve and I to the coaching staff. And Lane said, Lane knew they're undefeated since we've been here. He made a joke. He said, if Warren Central wins today, he's going to blame us.
Right,
so,
we'll probably get fired that quick. But.
And then when he got serious, boy, he had a lot of good things to say about Anthony Hickey, the Warren Central coach, and the Lady Dragons.
I think it's a tall order for Warren Central to come out on top tonight, but, you know, they're scrappers, and they will fight all the way to the end. And, you know, I always feel that any team can be beat on any night.
Totally agree with you on that, Steve. And we're a minute and a half in. Again, still waiting for our first points of the game.
Looks like one of those baseball score nights, Mike.
Yep. And you know, I didn't realize this, Steve.
Good rebound by Frank.
That is. You know who South Warren's leading rebounder is this season?
Who?
McLean Hudson.
Really?
Yes. And right now, the shortest player out there, Lydia Frank's three-pointer is off the mark, goes out of bounds. Again, the boys' game, they faced each other just 3 nights ago. Warren Central defeated South Warren in that game. We live streamed this previous girls basketball matchup over at Warren Central. It was right before the Christmas break on December 16th. And Warren Central got out to an early lead before South Warren took the lead. It was close until midway through the third quarter, and then South Warren was able to pull away. Again, Steve, you feel like both teams still trying to get their legs here.
Right. We're a couple minutes in, and both have had some pretty decent shots, but they just can't get them to fall.
Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders, the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. I want to say big thanks to William Warfield, the CEO and co-owner of Prep Spin. That is McLean Hudson with the ball. Mila Moonrath inside to Kaya Mitchell, and they're going to say that's a non-shooting foul against Warren Central, so the Lady Spartans will take it out. Want to say thanks to the hospitality extended here by Athletic Director, South Warren's Athletic Director Jeffrey Ashby, and Principal Jenny Hester, and also want to say special thanks to Jenny on social media. She gave us a really nice shout-out prior to promoting last night's swimming.
Yeah, that graphic she sent out, that was awesome.
That was. And there is our first bucket of the game, the three-pointer by the Lady Spartans, and they get a steal, and that's McLean Hudson who gets fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2. Mila Moonrath with the steal. So, Steve, I think we're going to have another good crowd here tonight.
Yeah, just filtering in right now. Yep. Of course, these 6 o'clock starts, people get off work and got to do the supper thing and then make their way here, but it's going to be a big night.
See, Warren Central principal Joey Norman just entered the gymnasium. And Jason Esters, the Warren Central Athletic Director, is also here. Also, Assistant Athletic Director Justin Gentili is here. So it's good to see him. There's McLean Hudson for 3. Yes. And Coach
Hickey needs a timeout.
Yep. We're going to keep it here. It's an early 7-0 lead for South Warren. And Coach Hickey going over things with his team.
Man, we're going to be entertained by the band tonight. They're right up behind us.
We are.
If you're wondering. It's been a slow start, really, for both teams, even though South Warren's up 7 points. But, I'm sure Coach Hickey realizes that these slow starts, you can look up and be down by double digits if you're not careful, even in a slow start.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't want that 7-0 deficit to double and where it's insurmountable. So now South Warren goes to a full court press again, and Warren Central trying to get it. Well, they're going to have a
10-second count if we're not careful.
Yeah, and South Warren bailed them out with that foul.
The foul, yeah. Coach Embry's not going to be happy with that.
No.
They had them. I thought they were close to a 10-second count and drew a foul.
Steve, I'm going to ask you a question that we were talking about tonight when we get a break. And I have a feeling if anyone knows the answer, you are. As Warren Central.
No pressure, Mike.
Okay. Our 4 high schools are obviously 2 tonight. Warren Central, South Warren, Warren East, Greenwood. Where did the name Greenwood come up with? And obviously a lot of places in that area are named Greenwood.
I think basically based off of the locations in that area, all the way starting at the mall.
Okay.
Moving that way.
Okay. And, Steve, I'm embarrassed to say this. I have to look it up. I don't know what's the longest tenured high school in our school district. I was guessing
Warren Central.
Warren Central. After that, though, obviously I know the most recent, and we're here tonight. I don't know which one's older between Warren East and
way back before my time.
Yep.
There were high schools scattered all around the county. There was a high school at Rich Pond, a high school at Alvaton, and lots of different places. And then those consolidated, and we're talking about a long time ago.
Okay.
my kids would think I would have been alive then, but I wasn't. So, and so then, you know, you consolidated into Warren Central and then Warren East and then Greenwood and then finally South Warren.
Okay.
But, you know, people don't realize that Warren County Schools operates many high schools beyond the 4 traditional brick-and-mortar high schools. There's a virtual high school, the Beacon Academy, there's Lighthouse, there's Geo International High School. So, you know, we can't fall in the trap of thinking Warren County is simply made up of the 4 brick-and-mortar schools that we think of. In this day and age, there's lots of opportunities for kids in lots of different settings.
And I tell you, Steve, those schools you just mentioned, I've interacted with a number of those administrators of those schools, including Eric Wilson, our athletic director with the school district. Really good people.
Yeah, in fact, he deals with several of those schools that are on the virtual end or alternative high schools, and helps in the administration of them. Well,
Ida Akhmedova hits the 3, and in an understatement, Steve, they needed that.
Right.
And you know, they've had this dry spell to start the game, and they're down just 4.
Yeah, you know, South Warren's had their own dry spell, had some turnovers.
Lydia Frank, you knew she was due.
Look, she's 2 steps behind the arc, too. Let's be real.
I'll tell you what I've enjoyed this season, Steve. Before the game, we'll get a chance to chat with her dad, assistant coach Alan Frank.
Nice move by Kennedy Robinson there.
That was a nice move, and she'll go to the line for 2. Alan Frank's a heck of a good guy.
Yeah, all their coaches are.
They are.
Just solid people.
Yep. So Kennedy Robinson, Steve mentioned she had a nice game when we last saw them against Greenwood. And her first free throw is in.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk to her in the parking lot. She actually went to Lost River when I was one of the administrators there. Great young lady, just so well spoken and carries herself so well and polite. It just made me feel so good to talk to her that night. Just a great young lady.
Steve, that's got to be one of the rewarding things you get to see now.
Yeah. I never get to see them very much when they're that age.
Yep.
I get to see them sometimes when they're older and out of school, but don't always get a chance at that age. Great move there.
That was Jalea Bailey.
And she works hard down low.
She does. She does. And, you know, Warren Central, despite their dry spell to start the game, here we are, less than 2 minutes to go in the quarter, and they're within 4. They're going to get a foul there. Gracie Hodges was.
It's inadvertent, but she tripped her nonetheless. She patted to herself to her coach.
The 2 head coaches in the girls' game tonight, South Warren, Blaine Embry, as we've talked about. Blaine succeeded his dad. Blaine Embry is the girls' basketball coach, and Blaine is a Warren East alum. He was on a great basketball team that went to Rupp Arena. And Lane took over for Blaine when Blaine took over the South Warren boys basketball
Mike,
team.
you got me all confused now.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
Listen. But you can see South Warren with Bailey out. They went right down low to Kaya Mitchell. A nice shot by Akhmedova.
Yep. I jotted down.
Good body control in the air. Nice touch.
Note to myself, do not confuse Steve Sanders.
Yeah, don't just say Coach Embry and Coach Embry. I'll assume it's one of them.
One thing that Warren Central has to be concerned about, Steve, Lydia Frank has buried her last 2 3-pointers. Right. Oh, boy, and that's McLean Hudson. Watch out now. That's 3 3-pointers in a row. It's 16-8 South Warren. They're going to say Akhmedova stepped out of bounds. I want to say thanks to tonight's officials. Appreciate their efforts.
Yeah, we've seen this crew quite a bit this year.
They do a nice job.
Yeah, we've seen them. I'm pretty sure. I know we saw them on Tuesday night at Warren Central, and we've seen them a couple times before that. They do a good job, and a thankless job. And we need more officials out there.
That I will echo what Steve just said there.
Well, it's a lot of contact there, but Kaya Mitchell cleans it up nonetheless.
It's 18-8 South Warren. They've gone on a nice run here. And we're at the 42nd mark of the first quarter. There's Kennedy Robinson, who Steve talked about just a moment ago. There's Akhmedova. Her shot is a little bit off the mark. Warren Central's going to get to keep possession, though, with 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. You'll watch and get to hear from a couple of our sponsors in a moment. But thanks to our sponsors tonight, Med Center Health, UK Healthcare, and Mingy Beef Jerky. On the other side of the court, you see a guy taking still pictures. That shot right there, no good. That's Marlo Hazard, the principal at Warren Elementary. The guy that Steve and I know very well.
Sharpest dressed man in Warren County.
He does know how to select his clothes, doesn't he, Steve?
Great guy, great principal. Look forward to hearing all the great things that happen at Warren Elementary with him in charge, and there'll be lots.
He is in his first year as principal at Warren Elementary, and when he was named principal, Steve, I was so happy for him.
Yeah, he's a terrific guy, and he's a good example of, he's in the Warren Central feeder system. He's at Warren Elementary. Yep. Listen, he's at every team at some point taking pictures. He's everywhere. All teams in Warren County. He's a fan of Warren County school sports, no matter what school, and that's great to see.
He used to work at Greenwood, didn't he, Steve?
He did.
Yep.
He did.
Okay, the free throws are good. We have 12 seconds left, and South Warren has put up 20 points in the first
quarter. Well, I said, you can quietly get up by double digits, and that's what you got to be careful of.
Robinson gets it over to Akhmadova. The pass, she gets it back, goes up. They get a foul.
Yeah. Hitting a couple threes here and there, and all of a sudden you miss your shot on your end, and you're down quite a bit.
Again, the two athletic directors talking tonight. Jeffrey Ashby of South Warren and Jason Esther of Warren Central. Appreciate their efforts very much, and good guys as well. And also want to give praise to the other schools' athletic directors, Dan Dillingham of Greenwood and Brandon Combs of Warren East. We do have one change to tell you about. Our game on January 31st, Steve, we're going to be at Warren East for a girls-boys basketball doubleheader. Warren East was supposed to originally host Russellville.
A lane violation, so it's going to be a turnover.
They'll host Glasgow instead, and
it should be lane violation on Warren Central. That should.
Yep. Oh, I wonder.
They're saying South Warren stepped in first. So.
Okay. A couple of subs are coming in for a last-second shot attempt. Lydia Frank, McLean Hudson, and checking out for South Warren will be Alexis Martin and Jenna Lindsay. As Steve mentioned, the band sounds great tonight, and you'll get to hear them in the background quite clearly.
Yeah. It's awesome. I love it.
I do too. Hudson, the three. No. Good first quarter, 20-8. South Warren leads Warren Central. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders, Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be right back.
Kids deserve the space to grow, to play, to explore. And if they get sick or hurt, they deserve a hospital devoted to them. This is our promise, the most advanced care possible, with doctors, nurses, therapists, and surgeons who specialize in getting kids back to simply being kids again. We are UK Healthcare's Kentucky Children's Hospital. And for us, the power of advanced medicine is more than saving lives. It's saving lifetimes.
I can't.
Have some Mingy.
This is a Mingy moment.
Welcome back to South Warren High School. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders with the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. South Warren leading Warren Central 20-8. Steve, the Lady Spartans got really hot the last 3 minutes of the quarter.
Yeah, I mean, it was really a kind of a nondescript, quiet first quarter that, Hudson and Frank got warmed up from the three-point line, and, it's a 12-point lead.
We were talking about Marlo Hazard earlier, and I mentioned Warren Central Principal Joey Nolan being here. Steve, I cannot think of two administrators in the school district with better beards than them.
Yeah, they do. Marlo's had his quite a while now. I remember when Joey didn't have his, but they both have some pretty good beards.
And again,
South Warren, about to say Greenwood. We're at South Warren. We're in Sparta, not the Swamp. South Warren on the offensive boards.
And no surprise, who's in the middle of it?
Moon
Gracie
Raft.
Hodges.
And Gracie Hodges. And, they've got Kaya Mitchell on the bench catching her breath a little bit and getting a little rest before she comes back in.
First free throw by Gracie Hodges, good.
That could be somewhat due to Bailey for Warren Central still on the bench.
Yep. Gracie Hodges, one of the 4 South Warren seniors on this team. We'll run down the options that you can watch our live stream here coming up in a moment. Ida Akhmedova bringing up the ball again, and like Kendi Robinson, she attended Lost River Elementary when Steve was an administrator there, and I know Steve thinks fondly of Ida, like he does Kennedy.
I do.
And Ida got fouled. I'll tell you what, Steve.
She's fearless.
She is.
She hit that lane hard and then hit the ground hard, but she is fearless. I guarantee you she'll go back. She won't stop her or slow her up.
Brianna Fausto, who wears number 13, checks in for Warren Central. And Steve, remember,
she had some rebounds
she
the
did.
other night.
Yeah.
She was hard working on the boards.
First free throw by Akhmedova is good.
Well, she missed her first 2 a few minutes ago, but seemed to get settled down now.
And South Warren gets the rebound. That was a pass. It went out of bounds. Steve,
Coach Embry wish he had that pass back, but nonetheless.
So South Warren with a 13-point lead, 22-9. That's Hudson. Yes. I'll tell you what, Steve. You're going to enjoy watching McLean Hudson during the softball season.
Yeah, I'm excited. The softball season, baseball season eventually equate to warm weather.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
bring it on. Softball coach Kelly Reynolds here tonight.
Yep. She's outstanding. She is absolutely outstanding. Of course,
known her a long time. Of course, she was an outstanding softball player at Warren Central.
Yep. Her and her wonderful husband, their daughter Emily, plays softball at Campbellsville University. And
Ethan, their son.
Yep. Standout tight end.
Standout football player.
Yeah. And he also plays on the baseball team, as you might expect. 25-9. South Warren has really stretched this out. Warren Central going to try to rally here, inbounding the ball. And this press has really bothered Warren Central, Steve. Really bothered him.
Yep.
So South Warren has possession. Hudson will inbound. Gets it over to Hodges. Shot's a little bit off, but Moonrath tried to chase it down, but it goes out of bounds. Got a couple things to run down here. Our next live stream will be Tuesday. We'll get to see South Warren again, but this time they'll be at Warren East. Girls-boys basketball doubleheader will start at 6 p.m. Akhmedova kicks it back out to Hannah Bailey. And
Kyle Mitchell back in the game.
Wow, good defense by South Warren. They held their ground. 6:10 to go in the first half. It's 25-9 Lady Spartans. There's Frank. No. There's Gracie Hodges, and she gets fouled.
Fouled on the shot, on the putback.
Want to run down a couple of Hall of Fame induction ceremonies coming up. Jeffrey Ashby said sometime here in the near future they want to honor one of their athletic teams during intermission, but last time we were here they had homecoming between the games. Again, you're watching and listening to the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. Mike Cleff and Steve Sanders. So thrilled you can join us. You can watch and listen to our live stream on our school district website, warrencountyschools.org. You can also go to go.prepspin.com. And big time thank you to William Warfield, the CEO and co-owner of PrepSpin. affectionately known as the King of Stream, and rightfully so. The guy has done so much for high school athletics.
Mitchell with a great steal.
Yep. Here she comes. Nice move.
You know, that was, she attempted to step around her. I thought it was going to play on.
I think Lane Embry's a little baffled by that call.
I think he's on my side on that.
Yeah.
But,
yep.
Her Kai Mitchell's second foul. She'll come out for a little while.
Our other live stream options, Steve, Prep Spin has a Facebook and Twitter page. You can go there. Or you can go to Roku Fire Stick TV and look for Prep Spin. So we have 5:35 to go in the first half. There's Akhmedova. Doesn't go, but she's going to go to the line. What do they call there, Steve? They call traveling?
Must have.
Huh, okay. Well, okay.
Whatever it was, it turned the ball over.
Yeah. So it's 26-9 South Warren. They've led from the get-go. There's Jenna Lindsay. Yes.
Wow.
Three-pointer by Jenna Lindsay. 29-9. And the Lady Dragons got a big hill to climb. But again, like we talked about, you can never fault Warren Central's effort. They have played hard every game we've seen them.
No, you know, we talked a few games ago when we were bringing Greenwood, and I'm not sure who they were playing, but we talked about the key to them is finding a secondary score. I think that same key is what Warren Central's got to do. Right now, Akhmedova is taking every shot down the court, and I'm not saying that in a negative way because she's a tremendous player, but you know, they've got to find some scoring from another place because Coach Embry's going to recognize that also, probably faster than I did, and you know, like Coach Belichick in the NFL, he's going to take away their best option, and then they're going to have to find another place.
They call a jump ball there. The arrow goes South Warren's way. That's that makes two of us on that school of thought, Steve. And I'll tell you one thing about Warren Central, and this comes from both Lane Embry, the South Warren coach, and Zach Simpson, the Greenwood coach. Lots of respect for Anthony Hickey, the Warren Central coach, and how hard and how well prepared the Lady Dragons are. And it's genuine respect. It's not just coach speak. It's 29-9, South Warren leading. As the Lady Spartans checking into the game for South Warren is Ashley Overbay. Wow. Wow. Steve, they've had the three-pointers ringing in.
Yeah.
32-9.
Must have been a good shoot-around.
Yeah. Akhmedova. Wow. Did everything right there except ball didn't go in. Here comes Gracie Hodges. She goes up. She's going to get fouled. And she's going to shoot free throws. As South Warren out to a comfortable 32-9 lead here in the first quarter. As promised, we're going to tell you about a couple of Athletics Hall of Fame inductions. First, we'll start with Warren Central. Warren East had theirs last Friday. Warren Central's will have theirs. They'll be recognized between games at Warren Central's girls-boys basketball games next Friday, and that's where we'll be next Friday, Steve. Butch Canty, he's a basketball coach. Glenn Ford, Greg Raymer from baseball, John Shannon from football, David Southard Sr., and the 1993 4x200 state championship relay team consisting of Charmaine Drake, Tanisha Jackson Bailey, Chastity Martin, Cameron Ray, and Nanika Alexander. We'll tell you about Greenwood's coming up here in a little bit. Warren East held theirs again last Friday. 33-9, Lady Spartans. There's Jalea Bailey. Good
nice shot.
Very nice.
That's what they need. You know, I expect Kennedy Robinson somewhere to take a shot. She can score.
And again, Steve, Warren Central just has to be in the chipping away process. A lot of time left in this game. McLean Hudson. The steal by, and McLean Hudson gets it back over to Grace Maxwell, and that's good. Boy, offensively here in the first half, Steve, South Warren's got it going.
They haven't missed very many shots, and when they have, they've got the offensive rebound, the turnover.
Also, as promised, Greenwood, their Hall of Fame, 2023 Hall of Fame class, their induction will be held on February 3rd, and Steve, we will also be there. It'll be a girls-boys basketball doubleheader. They'll be hosting South Warren. Consisting, their Hall of Fame inductees will be Ella Young, girls soccer. She was in the class of 2015. Brad Cooper, football, class of 2000. Chris Decker, he was the baseball coach for the Gators from 1995 to 2010. Of course, as Steve has mentioned, he also was the athletic director here at South Warren. And then the Greenwood Lady Gators softball team from 2013. That induction ceremony will be held on Friday, February 3rd. So congratulations to them. It's 35-11 South Warren. 2:13 to go here in the second quarter. And Steve, I hope I say this the right way. If you're Coach Hickey, you just want basically baby steps, positive developments, just chipping away and seeing the team get better. But boy, when South Warren's shooting like that, that doesn't help. Man. 37-11, 1:48 to go in the first half. There's Kennedy Robinson. They get the offensive rebound. That was Summer Bratcher with the rebound. She'll shoot it. Yes.
Nice, off the glass.
Yes. Summer Bratcher using the backboard quite nicely and gets the bucket. Jeffrey Ashby mentioned that the Warren County wrestling team had a home meet earlier this evening over at South Warren Middle School, and want to give a shout out to them. And Steve and I also want to say how much we enjoyed live streaming their meet recently. What a great time.
Yep, great kids.
Yes.
Carry themselves very well. No ball.
Okay. Arrow goes Warren Central's way. Steve, and I'm saying this, I commend Warren Central. This is not easy for a team going through a season like this. Right. You want to win more games. You're sitting here down 24, the minute left to go in the first half. But again, they don't play like they're down 24. They continue to play hard, and they definitely deserve recognition for that. And South Warren deserves recognition for shooting very well here in the first half. At 24 is Alexis Martin.
Good ball movement from South Warren.
Yep.
Patience, find a good open shot.
Yep. Kenny Robinson gets the defensive rebound. And the Lady Dragons with 19 seconds to go in the first half. Looks like they're going to pull it out and hold it for the final shot. Pass inside to Julia Bailey. Oh, very nice.
Good feed into the post.
Very nice.
She controlled her body, didn't foul.
Moonrath. Oh, good run at it, didn't quite go. 37-15, South Warren leading, Steve, to say the least. Very nice half for the ladies.
That was a good half.
All right. We're going to take a quick timeout. We're at halftime. South Warren leading Warren Central 37-15 in girls basketball. You are watching and listening to the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network.
I can't.
Have some Mingy.
This is a Mingy moment.
Girls like you aren't runners,
Hey, Rose.
they said. Well, I wasn't.
Let's go ahead and get some pictures of that meal, okay?
6 months, down the drain. Give up
Keep the rhythm going.
or
Perfect.
get up.
Looks good. Good, we're gonna take it up.
When you sub,
Who's not a runner now?
Or could it be any?
I am proof of the power of advanced medicine.
Which is like the kids you and Jeff train for.
Okay.
And next week I'll do that also.
Don't forget to pack 5 pairs of clean underwear.
Okay, Mom.
Well, Oh, and I meant to tell you, what a night Oscar had the other night. Wow.
What's wrong with these?
They might pull together enough to make the NCAA. They're going to have to work at it.
This is a Mingy moment.
They need to bring Wheeler off the bench.
I think you're right. All right, welcome back to South Warren High School. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders. South Warren with an impressive first half in this girls' game, and they lead the Lady Dragons 37-15. Coming up after this will be the boys' matchup between the host Spartans and the visiting Warren Central Dragons. And Steve, again, we talked about the unique scheduling situation. Just 3 nights ago, the 2 boys teams played at Warren Central with the Dragons defeating the Spartans. And Steve, both teams having terrific seasons. What do you expect from this second game tonight?
Well, I expect that both coaches have made some adjustments. While Warren Central won by a substantial margin, there were things that even the untrained eye like me could pick out from Warren Central. I'm sure Coach Unseld picked up too, which was, at least in the first half, lack of rebounding. His team's a very good rebounding team, and they were being out-rebounded by South Warren early. Now, Warren Central also wears you down, and that creates those opportunities to go up by substantial margins. But I would say, if they pick up, Coach Unseld's going to want to see a better rebounding by his team. If you're South Warren, they did a great job the other night of weathering the storm. We talked about that early. Warren Central comes at you hard and fast, and you've got to be ready for it. I thought they did. They did not fall behind a lot early. The game was 3, 5, 7, all the way through that early period, which was great for South Warren. They have to be ready to maintain that type of game plan the entire game. They also can't be frustrated by, Warren Central's a fast and physical ball club, and they can frustrate you because they're moving 90 miles an hour all the time, and that can be frustrating. And so, if you're South Warren, you don't want to fall victim and let yourself become frustrated with that kind, because they're not going to back off the pressure. They may back up 5 feet and apply it, but they're coming with pressure every possession.
And Steve, pressure from all avenues, whether it's Kate Unseld, whether it's Chappelle Whitney. The other night, Demarion Walkup, they know him as Mar. He might have been their best player 3 nights ago.
He's certainly one of their most active players.
Yes. Isaiah Villafuerte. They've got so many different avenues, and again, they go 9-10 deep, and Coach Unseld will play them. And you hear it in the background again, and Steve and I mentioned it. We love it. South Warren band doing a great job. They're doing a great job.
Kind of helps me out right now. I'm nursing a cold, I think. And got the sniffles, and so they'll cover all that up. Nobody has to hear me sniff.
Steve, real quick while we're here at halftime for a moment, we have 2 nights of live streaming next week. They're both girls-boys basketball doubleheaders. On Tuesday, we will see these Lady Spartans and the South Warren Spartans as they travel to Warren East to take on the Lady Raiders and the Raiders. That'll start at 6 p.m. And then next Friday, we will see the Lady Dragons and the Dragons as Warren Central will host Greenwood in a girls-boys basketball doubleheader. That'll start at 6 p.m. as well. So we'll be here on Tuesday and Friday. It's time to take another break. Steve and I will be back with more on the Warren County Public Sports Network. You're watching girls basketball. We'll be right back.
Don't forget to pack 5 pairs of clean underwear. Okay, Mom.
It just came up last day.
What's wrong with these? I think we're gonna need a bigger suitcase.
This is a Mingy moment.
Girls like you aren't runners, they said. Well, I wasn't.
Let's go ahead and get some pictures of that knee, okay?
6 months, down the drain. Give up
Keep the rhythm going.
or
Perfect.
get up.
Looks good. Good, we're going to take it up.
Who's not a runner now? I am proof of the power of advanced medicine.
Have some mingy.
Notice I didn't mention WBKO for the
I
opposite.
noticed that. Yeah.
This is a Mingy moment.
Kids deserve the space to grow, to play, to explore. And if they get sick or hurt, they deserve a hospital devoted to them. This is our promise, the most advanced care possible.
Slow but sure. I read a little bit.
Surgeons who specialize in getting kids back to simply being kids again. We are legally outsourced to Children's Hospital. And for us, the power of advanced medicine is more than saving lives. It's saving lifetimes.
All right. Back at South Warren High School, Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders, Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. Thank you to our sponsors, Med Center Health, UK Healthcare, and Mickey Beef Jerky. We're a little over 2 minutes away from the start of the second half. South Warren leading 37-15 over Warren Central. And Steve, I think the big story of this, late first quarter.
Three-point shooting.
South Warren just got
Shooting lights out from outside.
And it was a couple by Lydia Frank. It was McLean Hudson and Grace Maxwell.
Warren Central comes out on them. Then you got Kaya Mitchell inside, who has the potential to impose her will down low.
So again, the boys' game will follow. The boys' game will follow between the Spartans and the Dragons. Earlier this season at Warren Central, the girls matchup, South Warren won that game. So the Lady Spartans trying to make it a regular season sweep. As both teams are finishing up, at least South Warren's finishing up their warm-ups, and Warren Central meeting and ready to go. And nice moment there. One of the Warren Central assistant coaches putting his arm around Ida Akhmedova and going over things. I just love that kind of teaching, Steve.
Yep.
And again, Steve, you know, Ida Akhmedova attended Lost River Elementary when you were an administrator there, and like Kenny Robinson, you said she's a wonderful,
great young lady.
Yep.
I never knew her to be the basketball player, but that's a neat little find on my part, is to see a talent that I didn't know at that young of an age existed. But
yeah, it is really neat to see. So again, we're moments away from the start of the second half. You're watching the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network, courtesy of Prep Spin. And Steve, someone that we are very familiar with, affectionately known as Mr. C, is here. Rob Clayton, our outstanding superintendent of Warren County Public Schools. Not surprised. He's a huge sports fan. And Steve, again, the thing that's great about him and Jason Kupchell, our chief operations officer, you don't just see them at the main sports. They go to all of them.
Right.
And that's
Last
great.
time we ran into Mr. Clayton was at the wrestling match, I believe.
That is right. Yep. So South Warren gets the ball to start the second half. And to state the obvious, Steve, if Warren Central's going to get back in this, they got to do it quickly.
Yeah. Well, and you got to, honestly, the word is hope that South Warren's outside shooting cools off.
Yes. Lydia Frank, who had a really hot shooting streak late in the first quarter. Mila Moonrath, one of the seniors, the pass.
Good reach in by Bailey. The zone, which most schools in our area are playing right now, it's just a tough defense to play against a good outside shooting team. When you play that zone, you're basically daring them to shoot that outside shot. And when they're hitting the great majority of them, that's just not a good combination.
And if they hit a couple, that zone, their confidence just drops.
You do all that work in a zone, and they're still dropping them on you. Right on time. Yep.
Right there. McLean Hudson makes it 40-15. And I think at this point, Coach Hickey just wants to see his team finish strong. And
some people might say, wonder why Coach Embry's still trapping and pressing, but these teams we're deep in the heart of the schedule right now, and we're less than a month away from tournament time, and these girls have got to be ready for district and, in their minds, hopefully regional tournaments.
And Coach Hickey, during this timeout, we're keeping it here as South Warren leads 40-15. Again, he's going things, he's going over things. And, Steve, he right now he's probably telling him, let's just get better possession by possession. Don't worry about the scoreboard. Handle the press. Don't turn the ball over. Don't try to dribble into a trap. And just, again, possession by possession. But again, all credit to South Warren. They've really played well tonight. Again, Steve, if this holds true to form, Coach Embry might want to add you and I to the coaching staff.
Yep.
Every game we've live
streamed. Going to see us again next week, too.
That's right. I'll tell you what, got a chance to talk to both Coach Embry and Coach Hickey before the game. Just thoroughly enjoyed them. Yep, nice save there by Mila Moonrath to Lydia Frank. A couple of seniors there. Moonrath just does a lot of things very well for South Warren. Defends, rebounds, passes. Doesn't shoot a lot, but can shoot it when possible and when the opportunity presents itself. Maxwell, who's had a nice game for the Lady Spartans.
We're seeing good defense by Warren Central, but, Kai Mitchell got behind the zone just in the right spot to receive that pass and drew a foul.
You mentioned the full court press that South Warren has. I agree. I think Coach Embry will take that off very soon.
Right, but I understand. These girls are going into tournament time. You got to be sharp. You got to work out the kinks and all those things. I don't think either coach would want to quote run up the score or anything like that. They just want their girls to execute the offense and the defense. And I can promise you when the men come on the court in a few minutes, you're not going to see Warren Central do anything but come right at you.
Well, and Steve, you make a great point because we're here on January 20th, and we are almost about 4 weeks away from the start of the district play. So that's a very, very well-made point. You got to start getting ready and coaching for the postseason.
Well, and, the other side of that, and, you think about this a lot with the Warren Central boys team is, that's their offense. If you're asking them to stop doing that, then you're asking them to play something that's not their normal game. And that's just not what a coach wants to do. You want them to run their offense. Their offense is aggressive. It's fast-paced. It's based on good defense. And so, sometimes the score gets a little lopsided, but not because you're trying to show anybody up, but that's just the way your offense runs.
And I think that's a great perspective, Steve. And Lydia Frank having a nice night, connects on another three.
Taken back by the three-point shooting tonight. I mean, we knew they could shoot the three-pointer, but, I mean, they're just lights out tonight. Nice move right there.
Wow.
Nice shot.
Brianna Fausto. That was really nice.
Yeah.
We have just over 4.5 minutes left in the third quarter. South Warren comfortably ahead, 45-17. On the court right now for the Lady Spartans, Mila Moonrath. Number 4, McLean Hudson. Number 11, number 30, Lydia Frank. Number 10, Gracie Hodges. And number 13, Grace Maxwell. And the three-point.
McLean Hudson not to be outdone.
No. Steve, how many threes do you think they've hit in this game?
Probably 8 to 10.
Yeah. Brianna Fausto with another nice move in the lane. On the court for Warren Central is number 2, Hannah Bailey. Number 35, Julia Bailey. Number 25, Ida Akhmedova. Number 5, Kennedy Robinson. And number 13, Brianna Fausto, who just has hit the last 2 shots for Warren Central. So right now, Steve, this game has moved at a pretty good pace. Moonrath with the drive got fouled, but she'll go to the line for 2 free throws. Just the 3rd foul on Warren Central here in the 3rd quarter in the 2nd half, and South Warren has yet to commit a foul.
3rd on Bailey also. That's important.
Yep, South Warren definitely made an effort to go inside when Julia Bailey had to come out of the game. Moonrath hits the 1st free throw. Kaya Mitchell about ready to check in, and she does. She'll check in for Grace Maxwell, and then Moonrath will get a breather. Checking in for her will be Ashley Overbay. So it's 50-19. South Warren leading Warren Central. Just over 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Mike Cleff and Steve Sanders of the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. Okay, Steve, I'll ask you about Lane Embry. You're up 31 at this point. How do you coach if you're Lane Embry?
Well, I mean, you have to tell your kids to run the offense. You have to tell them to play defense. You know, the lesson you want to teach is not that you don't do those 2 things. You know, I think there's a good example. You know, Kyle Mitchell's a tremendous athlete. You know, I think you have to work on little things like that. As when Bailey gets the ball that deep, how do you play good defense without fouling? I think little things like that is where you've got to go. Those are fine-tuning things. But I don't say that thinking that I think the score needs to be this, that, or the other. But you can't ask your kids not to play in their offense and not to play their defensive scheme. That's just not good for athletes to try to figure out when the right time to do that, when the right time not to do that is. I mean, you look at Warren Central boys, for example. Look at what their offense is and how it runs, and you know how do you turn that down, quote unquote, and you know, the South Warren girls are running a set offense. They're not, they're not galloping up and down the court. You know, they're running their offense. They're just shooting lights out. And, you certainly can't ask a kid to shoot to miss.
That's right. Kind of using the football analogy late in the game, Steve. You know, you don't tell a player just to fall down and not score, you know.
Look at football is a good example about when teams play a prevent, quote-unquote, defense.
Yeah.
You know, how many times do other teams come down and score on that? And that creates a situation at the end of the game that they didn't necessarily intend for. And, you want to play your offense and you want to play your defense.
South Warren with a 50-20.
But this is a good example. They're moving the ball around.
Yep.
They're not looking for a quick score.
Nope.
And Warren Central, you know, they moved to a man-to-man defense, if you notice, and put a little more defensive pressure on it. Maybe 4. Nope. No, it's going to be on Akhmedova. I thought that might be Bailey's 4th.
Okay.
But actually, it's going to be the 3rd on Akhmedova, which isn't much better.
No, that's right. And you know, Steve, this half-court offense South Warren is running. I think Coach Embry, this is one of those. It's a nice drive. Wow.
Up and under.
Alexis Martin, nicely done. Nicely
done.
52-21, South Warren with 1 minute and 30 to go in the 3rd quarter. Crowd still filing in. We're going to have a good crowd again for the boys' game. Nice numbers already for the girls' game. Want to thank our leadership with Warren County Public Schools, Superintendent Rob Clayton, who's in attendance tonight.
So with another good drive,
wow.
You know, she can be that secondary scorer. She's got good ball skills.
We also know her rebounding skills. Jason Cupchella, our Chief Operations Officer, and our Chief Financial Officer, Chris McIntyre. And again, want to thank South Warren High School, their tremendous hospitality. Athletic Director Jeffrey Ashby, along with Principal Jenny Hester.
Warren Central still in that man-to-man with the exception of Bailey. I think they're trying to protect her from foul trouble. What was the call there, Mike?
They called a double dribble.
Double dribble,
yeah.
okay.
You know, Steve, William Unseld is standing over there in the stairway watching this game, and some of his players, or at least, no, they're getting dressed now, but his assistant coaches are down there, including his longtime trusted assistant, Cedric Gum. Steve, I'm going to ask you point blank. What makes William Unseld a great coach?
Communicates with his kids. He's got the respect, the relationship he has with his players, their trust that, I mean, you know, he's got the track record that we've talked before. How many players has he put in Division I basketball teams in the last 4 or 5 years? You know, if these kids want to do that, then they're going to listen. You may not always like it, but you're going to listen. And, you know, that's also the definition in my world of respect. You don't like what I'm saying, but you're going to do it anyway. If you don't respect your coach and you don't like what they're telling you, you're not going to do it. You're going to do what you want to do. And you don't see that on Warren Central's team. You might see it, but you won't see it for long. When he gives them that look, points to the end of the bench, they all know. He doesn't even have to really say it. Of course, let's be real, as big as he is, if he pointed to the end of the bench, I'd go sit down. Let's just be real, Mike. You would too.
I would too. That makes two of us. Mila Moonrath hits the layup to end the quarter. South Warren leading Warren Central 54-25. We'll take a timeout. You're watching the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network.
Kids deserve the space to grow, to play, to explore. And if they get sick or hurt, they deserve a hospital devoted to them. This is our promise, the most advanced care possible, with doctors, nurses, therapists, and surgeons who specialize in getting kids back to simply being kids again. We are UK Healthcare's Kentucky Children's Hospital. And for us, the power of advanced medicine is more than saving lives. It's saving lifetimes.
Girls like you aren't runners, they say. Well, I wasn't. Down the drain. Give up?
Is the rhythm going?
Or get up?
We're going to take it up.
Who's not a runner now? I am proof of the power of advanced medicine.
Don't forget to pack 5 pairs of clean underwear.
Okay, Mom.
What's wrong with these? I think we're gonna need a bigger suitcase.
This is a Mingy moment.
Welcome back to South Warren High School. Fourth quarter just underway. The Lady Spartans leading the Lady Dragons 54-25. South Warren on the break right now. That's Jenna Lindsay.
Good steal by Robinson.
Kennedy taking it in.
Nice stop. You know, that she had 2 defenders on her. She had the wherewithal to stop, let them clear, and then she had a nice, easy shot off the glass.
That makes it 54-27. South Warren leading Warren Central. The Spartans boys basketball players are checking out the fourth quarter of this game.
Nice putback by South Warren.
Yeah, it certainly is. And that was
Tykedra Garrett.
Yep, one of the Lady Spartan seniors. Akbadova handling the ball. The drive, but her shot's blocked. There's Julia
Nice
Bailey.
pickup by Bailey.
Yep.
Just couldn't get it to fall.
And South Warren will have the ball, and looks like, Coach Embry's starting to get some of the reserves.
Some of his bench in there.
That's Hannah Bolin checking in. Grace Maxwell checks out. Grace has had a nice game for the Lady Spartans tonight. And Hannah Bolin has the ball right now. Junipel Stroh, an 8th grader, number 25, passes over.
It's a nice offense that Coach Embry's running right there.
That
It
really
flashes into the paint. We haven't seen that a whole lot, but nice offense.
And the bucket, resulting in a bucket right there. It's 58-26.
Well, you know, this is another good point. You can't put your reserves in there and then not let them play. This is their opportunity to get some time on the court, and, you know, you can't just say, I'm going to put you in there, but don't do anything.
Right.
Nice staying with it, Bailey. Got a good putback.
Julia Bailey with the bucket makes it 58-29. As South Warren with a big lead. They're going to go on to win this game. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders with the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. Kendi Robinson.
Garrett with a strong rebound.
Yeah. And that results in the lay-in. I believe that is Abby Overbay.
Yeah.
With the bucket. We're going to get a timeout. We'll keep it right here. It's 60-29. So, Steve, again, I don't know who called the timeout there.
I think it was Coach Hickey that called it.
Yep. And again, he's got the grease board out, going over with things. And again, you're teaching, and I guarantee.
Well, he's got, he's going to begin to get some of his bench in there, and this is the opportunity to get that board out and have some teaching time during the game with them.
And Steve, you made a great point a couple minutes ago. A lot of these players that don't get a lot of playing time, it's their opportunity, and the head coach and their coaching staff expect them to play hard. Yeah. So we have 5:13 to go in the game. South Warren is leading Warren Central 60-29. The Lady Spartans are going to go to 10-10 on the season. And with the win, they'll have won 6 of their last 8 games. Right now in the game for South Warren, Hannah Bolin, Tykedra Garrett, Jenna Lindsay, Junipel Stroh, and they list 15 as Shaylin Reed, but I thought they said Abby Overbay earlier, Steve, so try to double check that. That 3-point shot, no. For Warren Central in the game, that's Ida Akhmedova with a nice drive and basket. Julia Bailey is in the game, along with Brianna Fausto, Hannah Bailey, and Summer Bratcher. We're under 4.5 minutes to go in the game. And the drive by Garrett, nicely done. And South Warren has now scored 62 in this game.
It's quite a few for ladies' games sometimes. Not to take anything away from them, but it's a good score with 4 minutes to go.
Good effort by both teams there. Jump ball. It goes the arrow.
South Warren. Coach Embry's going to get some more reserves in.
You're watching the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. Mike Cleff and Steve Sanders.
There we go, another 3, Mike.
Wow. You know, Steve, I'm going to say that I think they've hit about 10 threes tonight.
Yep.
65-31, South Warren leading.
Nice drive by Akhmedova. Yep. She's not going to quit. Warren Central's not going to quit. That's what I like about Coach Hickey's team.
And, Steve, I think you had the right adjective for Akhmedova. That's fearless.
That was the right move there to bring that ball out.
Nice drive. Not quite. There's Brianna Fausto with the rebound. And they're going to get a foul right there. The shot won't count. They're saying it was before the shot. So just the second foul on South Warren. So Warren Central will inbound. We have 3:10 left in the game. South Warren leading 65-33 in the girls matchup. The boys matchup between the 18-1 Warren Central Dragons and the 14-3 South Warren Spartans to follow. You're watching the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network, courtesy of Prep Spin. Here's Hannah Bailey. She's going to go to the line for two. Also talking with Rob Clayton tonight, someone that you and I know very well. He's been on with us before. Nick Lowe.
Nick Lowe. Former
athletic director at both South Warren at Greenwood. And he's now an assistant principal over here at South Warren High School. And Nick, very strong ties to track and field with Warren County Public Schools.
Cross country.
And
cross country
yep.
coach.
Yep.
Coach my kids.
I heard he was a good coach, Steve.
He was. Kids loved him and listened to him.
Second free throw is good. And it's 65-34. 2:44 to go in the game. As you would expect, South Warren's been playing half-court defense for quite a while now. Coach Embry, class act all the time, just like Coach Hickey. There's Junipel Stroud driving baseline. She'll shoot a three. That one's off the mark. And the rebound by Fausto, Brianna Fausto. And checking into the game for Warren Central. I'll double check on this one. She got a different number on tonight.
Good block by Fausto.
Yep. We're in the final minute 40 of this game. Warren Central gets the defensive rebound. I want to say number 24 is Deja Ferguson for Warren Central.
Could be, yeah.
Yep. So she's in the game, and South Warren's going to get a timeout, and all Coach Embry's doing there is getting a sub in. He told them to keep playing. Yep. As he gets Jenna Lindsay in there. Steve, you mentioned we're only about 4 weeks away from district play. Coach Embry has to like the way his team is playing, having won 6 of the last 8 games.
They looked better tonight than I think we've ever. I mean, shooting-wise, they've just been lights out. So they've done a good job on the boards, played good defense.
And of course, a week ago, Steve, when we were here, they had a good win against Greenwood.
Yes, yeah, but they look better tonight, I think, than they even did then.
Agreed. Yeah.
You know, they seem to put a little more pressure on the defense. They trapped a little bit more. What's the old football saying? Defense wins championships.
Yeah. Yes. That is definitely a kernel of truth, no doubt about that. Free throw makes it 65-36, and Akhmadovic playing nice defense, getting the steal. And she kicks it out to her teammate Fausto, who gets it over to Hannah Bailey. And we are about ready to hit the 30-second mark of this game. South Warren will go to 10-10 on the season, and a nice bucket by Deja Ferguson. It's 65-38, and again, at this point, you want your reserves to get a chance to get a shot in.
Long pass there.
Yep. They're going to get a travel. So we have 13.6 seconds left. It's 65-38. South Warren leading Warren Central. And Aquindova will pass it over to Fausto. Try to get the shot up. There you go. Oh, doesn't quite go. And that is the final score from here. 65-38. South Warren defeats Warren Central. Steve, I thought you hit the nail right on the head. As good of a win as South Warren had last Friday against Greenwood, they played better tonight.
Yeah, they look better tonight. Coach Embry's got them in looks like a pretty good position to go into the end of the regular season and the beginning of postseason.
All right.
You know, Warren Central's still fighting though, and then you got to respect that.
Absolutely. Again, as we've seen all season long, Coach Hickey and the Warren Central players give great effort. They play hard. They continue to hang in there. Of course, they wish they had more wins, but you got to reward or be proud of their effort. Got to be proud of the effort by South Warren tonight as well, as the Lady Spartans improved to 10-10 on the season. They've won 6 of the last game, or 8 games, I should say, as they defeat Warren Central by a final of 65-38. We're going to take a quick break. Steve and I will be back. We're between games right now, the boys' game to follow. You're watching the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network, brought to you by Prep Spin.
Don't forget to pack 5 pairs of clean underwear.
Okay, Mom.
What's wrong with these? I think we're gonna need a bigger suitcase.
This is a Mingy moment.
Girls like you aren't runners, they said. Well, I wasn't.
Let's go ahead and get some pictures of that knee, okay?
6 months, down the drain. Give up
Keep the rhythm going.
or
Perfect.
get up.
Looks good. Yeah, we're going to take it up.
Who's not a runner now? I am proof of the power of advanced medicine.
Kids deserve the space to grow, to play, to explore. And if they get sick or hurt, they deserve a hospital devoted to them. This is our promise, the most advanced care possible, with doctors, nurses, therapists, and surgeons who specialize in getting kids back to simply being kids again. We are UK Healthcare's Kentucky Children's Hospital. And for us, the power of advanced medicine is more than saving lives. It's saving lifetimes.
I can't.
Have some Mingy.
This is a Mingy moment.
Welcome back to South Warren High School. Mike Cleff and Steve Sanders. Warren County Public Schools Sports Network, our first game tonight. It was South Warren defeating Warren Central by a final score of 65-38. So, Steve, now we move to the boys' game between the Dragons and the Spartans, in which 3 nights ago the Dragons defeated the Spartans 31. That final was a little bit misleading. It was a single-digit margin midway through the third quarter. So, Steve, what do you think the Spartans have to do tonight to pull the upset?
Well, I think, now that they've seen Warren Central live and in person, that's an advantage because, you're not watching just film anymore. Again, they held in there for 2.5 quarters. They've got to maintain their stamina. We saw some of their shots start to fall short late the game the other night. Their legs may have started to come out from under them, which, I can completely understand with the amount of defense. Warren Central puts on you and the amount of energy you have to exert to withstand that. You know, I think they've got to be ready for that 32 minutes, you know, of hard-nosed defense and patient offense.
Steve, who do you think the key player is for the Spartans? I would think you have to start with Brandon Rowe.
Yeah, absolutely. He did a good job the other night. You know, we talked about he came out of halftime. We said that somebody needed to assert themselves, and Brandon did. So, you know, I think that's a good first choice. But again, when Brandon asserts himself in the game, they've got to have a secondary scorer because Warren Central is so athletic. They're going to recognize Brandon also, and then they're going to start double teaming him. And you know, somebody's got to step up and fill that gap when Warren Central takes him away or tries to.
Steve, on the Warren Central side, there's an old saying, don't eat the cheese. In other words, don't believe the hype.
Right.
So, you know, you and I both think Warren Central's very good.
I don't think it's hype either. You
right.
know, we've seen them several times, and every game we've seen the same thing.
I agree.
You know, I think they're the real deal. Can they be beat? Yeah, any team can be beat, but it's going to take a Herculean effort by any team, and I'm not saying that. I believe it's entirely possible that South Warren can beat them, but it's going to take an absolute perfect game plan. You know, and the guys are going to have to execute. I thought they had a very good game plan the last time. You know, They were hanging in there with them, but you've got to hang in there the entire 4 quarters.
Steve, if you're William Unseld, and so many nice things are said about his team, and don't get me wrong, Coach Unseld likes his team getting compliments, but how do you think he handles the fact that it's nice for people to say nice things about our team, but we still have to get it done on the court on a nightly basis? How do you think he handles that with his players?
Well, I mean, I think that, you know, they hear and listen to a lot of things, but I guarantee you the voice they hear and listen to the most is his.
Yeah.
And, you know, he loves his players, but he's going to coach them. He's going to coach them up.
Yeah. All right, we're about 16 minutes away from the start of the boys' game between the Spartans of South Warren and the Dragons of Warren Central. Warren Central comes in with a season record of 18-1. South Warren, in its first season under head coach Carlos Corrals, comes in with a season record of 14-3. We're going to take another timeout. We'll talk more about this matchup. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders with the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network.
Have some Mingy.
This is a Mingy moment.
It's running, but we're on a commercial.
Girls like you aren't runners, they said. Well, I wasn't.
Let's go ahead and get some pictures of that knee.
6 months, down the drain. Give up
Keep the rhythm going.
or
Perfect.
get up.
We don't take it up.
Who's not a runner now? I am proof of the power of advanced medicine.
Don't forget to pack 5 pairs of clean underwear.
Okay, Mom.
What's wrong with these? I think we're gonna need a bigger suitcase.
This is a Mingy moment.
Kids deserve the space to grow, to play, to explore. And if they get sick or hurt, they deserve a hospital devoted to them. This is our promise, the most advanced care possible, with doctors, nurses, therapists, and surgeons who specialize in getting kids back to simply being kids again. We are UK Healthcare's Kentucky Children's Hospital. And for us, the power of advanced medicine is more than saving lives. It's saving lifetimes.
Our lips are sealed. You got it. Our lips are sealed. Welcome back to South Warren High School. Mike Cleff and Steve Sanders. Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. I'll tell you what, Steve, I think sometimes it'd be fun if during our breaks, if we could, we have fun conversations with people. And
oh yeah, that's the most fun to me is talking to people before, during, and after the game.
We're going to give a shout out right now to Brandon Rowe of South Warren. He was a player Steve and I were talking about a few minutes ago. As we've said, Brandon's dad is Marcellus Rowe, who's a bus driver, a longtime bus driver with Warren County Public Schools, and Steve's very familiar with him. I still work with him. Wonderful guy. But also want to give a shout out to Brandon's grandparents.
Yes, absolutely.
And that would be Algie and Betty Smith from Russellville. And the message to Brandon is that his grandparents are very proud of you. So good luck tonight. And that is Algie and Betty Smith from Russellville. And we appreciate the information on that. And Brandon Rowe is just a wonderful young man. Wonderful young man. So good luck to Brandon Rowe and the Spartans tonight. And let's just got to give a shout out to we're finding out some more relatives. Rose Weed is a relative, an aunt. Okay. And that's great.
And Brandon's mom's here with us.
Carol. Brandon's mom, Carol. And that's great. That's awesome. Yeah, that's one of the neat things about this. And
I wish more people would do that because, I mean, that's part of what we enjoy doing is just, connecting with the community, connecting with these players and their families. And so that's awesome.
So, again, Steve, we talked about what each team has to do. And I do think, like we talked about 3 nights ago, the start of each half for South Warren is vital. I mean, they cannot come out of the gate slowly. They cannot. If they fall behind early, this thing could get in a huge margin.
And likewise, they can't panic early. I mean, now they know what's coming at that tip-off. The first time they get possession of the ball, they know exactly what's coming. You get your ball handlers in there, and I thought goalie did a good job the other night of handling that pressure. They did a good job, better than any team we've seen handling that kind of pressure from Warren Central. They just got to follow that up the entire game.
Steve, before we get back to this game, we still have about 11 minutes away from tip-off between Warren Central and South Warren. South Warren girls won our first game 65-38. Steve, I do want to touch on 2 recent live streams that we did. A few days ago, we were at the Warren County Wrestling Meet at South Warren Middle School, and then last night's meet at the Aquatic Center with the Warren County Public Schools swimming and dive team. And Steve, you've been with us since October. Just what was it like for you, and I'll share my thoughts as well, the enthusiasm, the reception, and getting to live stream, those sports that just don't get a lot of publicity.
I mean, Mike, we could have thrown our hat in a race for governor and won last night. I mean, and we didn't really do much except bring this technology and this opportunity to those kids and those coaches and those families last night. We had a coach from Glasgow shooting out the prep spin address to go to watch the swim meet to his booster club, and that's what we want to do. This is, this doesn't have to be limited to Warren County Public Schools. Certainly we'd love anybody in Warren County to watch it and support their kids and grandkids team. But, I love the fact that the families in Barron County and counties far away can tune into our broadcast and see their children and grandchildren and nieces and nephews and cousins and friends. That's the whole point of this. This isn't about Mike Cleff and Steve Sanders. This is about families of these high school athletes. These athletes work so hard day in and day out, and this is a way of recognizing their hard work and their efforts, and also giving their families an opportunity to connect with that. We're in the dead of winter. I mean, it's cold tonight, Mike. I went out for recess with some kids today, and I wish I had my gloves. It's cold. Not everybody can get out on a night like this, but we can give them the opportunity to connect with their family member who's involved in this game, and that's what it's all about. That plain and simple, and I so much appreciate Mr. Clayton and Mr. Cupchella, Mr. McIntyre, and all of Warren County Schools to recognize this technology and this particular opportunity to reach out to these families. It's not a money-making thing for Warren County Schools. We don't make a dime off of it. In fact, it costs money for Warren County Schools of which they don't recoup. But they still do it because there's more important things sometimes than just the bottom line.
I'm going to ask one more question, Steve. We did 3 track and field meets last spring. We're going to do track and field this spring. That's a sport close to your heart.
Yep.
One of your sons competes in track and field. Your other son used to. And what does it mean to be a part of the live stream with track and field this spring?
Well, I'm excited about it. It presents challenges. It's a wider field of play than even a football field. You have a lot of things going on. But, again, it's not about can we get a close-up on every kid in every event. We can't. Logistically it's hard at a track and field complex, but can we provide an opportunity for those families to maybe hear their child or grandchild's name, maybe to catch a glimpse of a race. We talked earlier tonight about, and the great thing about Tony Rose joining us last night, this is opportunity to educate people on what goes on at a track and field meet. The first thing I'm going to tell you is they're long. And the second thing I'll tell you, the first meet of the season's about 32 degrees, and the last meet's about 82 degrees. You span that big of a weather rainbow. But, it's an opportunity for people to explore and learn about events and sports that not everybody, quite frankly, knows about. I didn't know about track and field until my kid ran. I went to the first meet at Warren East High School on their old track before it was improved, and they got a new athletic complex. And that was the first time I was introduced to track and field. Didn't know a thing about it, but I'm getting there.
Steve, one more thing, and I was interviewing Mr. Clayton after our wrestling live stream, and while that was going on, off camera, Steve, there were 9 or 10 wrestlers talking with you. And Steve, how much did that mean to you? How memorable was that? Just those,
that was awesome. Those kids carried themselves so well. They were so appreciative of us being there, and that is what I love about it. These athletic directors are great. They're always gracious, but they also recognize that we're just giving another opportunities for families to connect with their schools and their athletic teams. And that's what it's all about. I'm sure they could find better broadcasters than me and you maybe, but they will not find better ambassadors for Warren County Schools than us.
Well, you know what, Steve? I don't think anybody could say that any better. And, Steve, you know what? I'm going to hand that. You just keep the headsets on. Bless his heart, Lane Embry, the winning coach tonight for South Warren Girls Basketball, is going to join us. I'm going to give the headset to him, and, Steve, you can chat with him. Congrats on the win, Coach.
Yeah, Mike's taking a big chance here. Well, Coach Embry, it's good to have you with us. That was a nice victory your squad had there.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, girls played well, came out and played really hard. And executed on the defensive and offensive end, and we were proud of them.
Mike and I were talking, as a coach, your job is to always find something that your squad can do better the next game. But I'm going to tell you what, your squad shot lights out from beyond the arc tonight. And they started out early, and it wasn't just one player. Do you happen to know how many threes you had? We were guessing 10, somewhere in that neighborhood.
They said maybe 10 or 12, possibly 12.
Yeah, but it wasn't just one player. At least 3 or 4 players, I believe, had shots from outside the arc. And, Lydia Frank, she's got Steph Curry range, I think. She don't shoot anything that's not 2 steps back. She's not towing that line, is she?
Sure, the girls have worked hard on their shots, and they work hard on every aspect of their game, and we just talk a lot about every day. You got to take what the defense is going to give you on a given night, and you got to be well-rounded as a player and be ready to score in different ways. And no matter what, you got to come out and compete and defend on the other end.
Well, I thought your girls did a great job on defense too. When they put that early pressure on, they were trapping. And Mike and I were talking about that. You're 1 month away from postseason play, and I'm not a prognosticator, but I will say your girls look ready, or I know you don't want me to say they're ready for postseason, but they're looking really good, and they're looking like you're on the road that you want to be on to get to postseason. And I thought their defense was really good. I thought, something that we don't always talk about, but might have been good for your girls. I think, late in that second half, Warren Central switched from a zone to a man-to-man defense, which, quite frankly, we see a lot of zone. You see a lot of zone. But all of a sudden, Warren Central went to that man-to-man defense, partially, I think, to put a little more pressure on the ball when your girl, we were talking zone defense, just inviting the three-point shot, and you all were obliging that. But how did your girls react to that? Do you all work on making that switch in game from different defenses?
Sure, we do. We like to make sure we're challenging our girls every day to think on their feet while they're playing. And it's just all a part of growing up. And we've been trying to give them a little more leadership, a little more leniency on what they're calling, and trying to get them to recognize what would work best in a certain situation, because that's the most important thing. If they can recognize it and we don't have to, then that makes things a whole lot easier for us, having more coaches on the floor.
Well, you're a deep team. You appear to be deep. Do you feel like you've got that depth on the bench?
We sure do, and I feel like we have any kid on the bench I would feel comfortable pretty much putting in a varsity basketball game, and that's not very common. We talk about that a lot, that's a nice blessing to have, but it also comes with its difficulties, because some nights, some kids don't get quite the same minutes that they might get the night before, just depending on the way that the game's going.
Well, and to that point, Mila Moonrath is a great player for your squad and very consistent, but she had a fairly quiet game tonight. And that's okay, because that creates opportunities for those other girls, who, Mila Moonrath doesn't have to be a superstar when Lydia Frank's burying them from the outside, and that just keeps that other squad on their toes.
Absolutely, and again, it's what we talk about a lot, and I feel like I always say this to press, but it just continues to be true. These girls really don't care who scores. They just really want to win, and if we're putting, in the end of the day, if we're putting the ball in the bucket on one end, then I don't think there's a one of them that really cares whether it's them or not.
Absolutely.
They just want to score.
Well, we're getting close to the tip-off of this one, but I would be remiss to tell you and remind you, Coach, you are undefeated when Warren County Schools Sports Network is broadcasting. We'll be at Warren East next week. So not to take anything from those girls, those young ladies at Warren East, but they got a tall order because Warren County Public Schools Sports Network's coming to town, and South Warren comes with us sometimes.
Well, we really appreciate you guys.
Well, we love it.
Thank you guys so
love
much.
watching your team. I hope you let them know how much we appreciate their effort, and we appreciate you joining for us. And let's get ready to roll with these guys here.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate your time.
So, Steve, what a great guy. I mean, he comes over on his own. Great job on that interview, Steve.
Oh, thanks. I don't know about that, Mike. Yeah.
So we'll have the starting lineups here, and we'll go silent for a minute. Boys basketball game between the Dragons and the Spartans about to start. Lane Embry, his South Warren girls win tonight 65-38.
A great show of respect for these Warren Central kids to go over and see Coach Q also as they come on and introduced.
Oh, and I'll tell you what, that is great.
Great love and respect from these coaches and players.
Steve, as competitive as they are, it is hard to compete against someone that you have a lot of admiration for,
right.
Isn't it? All right, there's your starting lineup. Steve, real quick before we get underway. Lane Embry, girls coach. What a great guy.
Oh, super guy. Just, again, everybody knows I'm new to this business, but, people like that make it easy. Makes himself available, wants to be a part of it and not, he wants to talk about his girls, not him. You notice he talked about his girls' effort, not his coaching, and that's awesome. All right, here we go, my friend.
That's right.
Let's see what happens.
Brandon Rowe jumping against Mar Walkup. First name's Demarion, but he's affectionately known as Mar. And South Warren, Brandon Rowe gets the defensive rebound. Good start for the Spartans, Steve.
Yep.
That's Justin Posey passing it out of the trap. Uh-oh. This is not what the Spartans want.
Walkup, that's a great job of following the shot. Everybody in this building thought Whitney was going to get the dunk there, but Walkup followed it, and he was rewarded for it.
Spartans have the ball, so Warren Central with the first 2 points of the game. Brandon Rowe gets it over to Andrew Goley. As always is the case, Warren Central with defensive pressure. And Steve and I have used the adjective a lot, and it's accurate, relentless.
They're going to start out in a man-to-man. We'll see them in a man-to-man most of the time.
That's Cade Unseld guarding Andrew Goley. Andrew Linhart being defended by Mar Walkup. That's Chappelle Whitney, a tremendous player, guarding Goley now.
Nice move. I think Goley had a great move. I think he just lost it on the way up. Got it back.
Rowe being guarded by Omari Glover. That's Justin Posey, who hit a buzzer beater against Barron County earlier this season. Rowe, the jumper. That's nice. Nice half-court set there, Steve.
It was.
We're tied at 2. First minute and a half of the game.
Wow, quick first step. Now you got to.
Another thing I like about this Warren Central team, Steve, quite frankly, there's probably 4 or 5 players that could find a way to transfer to another school and be the star. But they stay with Warren Central. They want to play for Coach Unseld. And as you've seen, there are no egos on this team. They are extremely unselfish.
I would say there's a extremely large ego check sitting over there on the bench.
The tallest guy on the Warren Central bench? Yes.
He's my tallest guy in my world.
Yeah. That's Justin Posey, the 3.
Nice look. Good open shot.
Warren Central gets the rebound. Whitney over to Isaiah Villafuerte. There's Cade Unseld. Back over to Villafuerte.
South starting out in the man-to-man also. You also almost have to have you can't allow them to move in a zone defense. Walkup again active on the boards.
And Steve, the first matchup, South Warren did a good job rebounding defensively. That time, Warren Central was able to get an offensive board and cash in, courtesy of Walkup. As Steve mentioned, very active. Here comes Whitney after getting the defensive rebound. Wow,
nice
what a block.
Defense.
What a block. Walkup will try the 3, a little bit long. Rowe with the rebound. And he's double teamed by Walkup and Whitney. Goley now with the ball for the Spartans. Dragons with an early 4-2 lead. Just under 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Nice baseline move.
Was a lot of body contact there.
Nice sportsmanship there. Rowe helping up Walkup.
A lot of body contact.
There was. And Steve, one thing with Warren Central in their transition game, every one of their players that gets a defensive rebound, they don't have to look for an outlet pass. They can just take it up court themselves.
They are the outlet pass.
Yeah, you're right. Late game of the doubleheader tonight. Boys basketball, South Warren, Warren Central. And the Dragons, this is Unseld. He's going to try the 3. A little bit long. Andrew Goley with the rebound.
Now, this is the kind of game, if I'm South Warren, I want. I want it halfway through the first quarter. I want it 4-2 or 4-4. You know, halfway through the first quarter, you're used to seeing Warren Central with 10, 12, 14 points. And, you know, it's a combination of they haven't shot exceptionally well so far in this game and good quality defense on South Warren's part, just like that.
Brandon Rowe, the dunk, the steal and the dunk, and it's 6-4. Steve, to use the analogy, you want to see South Warren kind of muddy up the waters.
Right. Now, I'd like to see South Warren be patient, not get into a up and down game, because that's going to be Warren Central's game. There we go. They've reset their offense.
South Warren will get to keep possession. The basket before the dunk by Rowe was a lay-in by Wells Bratcher. Tavion Wells checks in for the Dragons. He wears number 3, and also checking in is number 2, Malik Jefferson. Bryce Button comes in for the Spartans, replacing Wells Bratcher.
He's had some good games.
Yep. Drew Hudson, who didn't play Tuesday night, is about ready to check in. So the Spartans with a 6-4 lead with the ball. 3:44 to go in the first quarter. Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. Brandon Rowe, who had a crowd enjoyable dunk just a moment ago.
Well, good idea. It stepped on the out-of-bounds line.
Yep. Nice crowd tonight, Steve.
It is. Good crowd.
So here come the Dragons, trying to tie the score, perhaps take a 1-point lead. Of course, the two head coaches here, not only a lot of respect between each other, but they're close friends. William Unseld for Warren Central and Carlos Corals for South Warren. And the Dragons passing it around on the perimeter.
South gone to a 2-3 zone.
And moving around there. Unseld now has it out front. Villafuerte kicks it over. That's Wells. Now Jefferson.
Good
Very
ball
nice.
movement.
Very nice. Unseld with the hoop.
Moving without the ball, Unseld makes himself available down deep in the lane.
I just love their unselfishness, Steve. That's Drew Hudson. No, but Hudson gets his own rebound. As Steve mentioned, South Warren, the tempo of the game to their liking so far. I'll tell you what, Steve, that was a tough shot.
It was. Good body control in the lane.
So the Spartans have the lead again, 8-6. And Brandon Rowe is off to a very strong start for the Spartans, getting the defensive rebound. Again, want to give a shout out to his grandparents, Algie and Betty Smith from Russellville. They're watching and listening to our live stream tonight. Glad you can join us. Brandon's mom, Carol, gave us that information. His aunt, Rose Wheat, is one of our longtime bus drivers. And speaking of bus drivers, Brandon's dad, Marcellus Rowe, is a wonderful bus driver for our school district. So it's 8-6 South Warren, minute 45 to go. South Warren gets the ball back. Luke Smith is into the game for the Spartans. That's Rowe with the ball. Driving, kicking it over to Button. Minute 24 to go. Steve is talking about the patience that South Warren is showing in the half-court offense. Here's Linhart, the runner. A little bit long.
Good shot.
Yeah,
nice look.
I'll tell you what, again,
couldn't get it to fall.
Yeah, Spartans executing their game plan so far. There's Whitney, Villafuerte. He's probably the Dragons' second best outside shooter behind Unseld. And the Dragons bring it back out. We're down to 45 seconds left in the first quarter. Bar walk up over to Malik Jefferson. Villafuerte Kicks it back out to walk up. No, but look who's there for the rebound. Whitney. Good defense and great tenacity by Chappelle Whitney, Steve. And we're tied at 8. Spartans get it. Past half court. There's Rowe. Down to 12 seconds to go in the quarter. Ooh, Spartans can't afford that, Steve.
No. Unforced turnovers are not going to be their friend.
Oh. So Warren Central, and Steve, you made a great point. The low-scoring game is exactly what the Spartans want.
Yeah, they've done a good job. You can see adjustments that Coach Q's made from earlier this week to tonight.
Whitney, the 3. Good defense, and that'll be the end of the quarter. We're tied at 8. Good first quarter. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders, the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll be right back.
Kids deserve the space to grow, to play, to explore. And if they get sick or hurt, they deserve a hospital devoted to them. This is our promise, the most advanced care possible, with doctors, nurses, therapists, and surgeons who specialize in getting kids back to simply being kids again. We are UK Healthcare's Kentucky Children's Hospital. And for us, the power of advanced medicine is more than saving lives. It's saving lifetimes.
Welcome back to South Warren High School. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders. Steve, South Warren couldn't have asked for a better start to this game.
No, that was, not only did they weather the storm, for a good bit of that first quarter, you felt like they were in control of the pace of the game, Warren Central definitely wants to be out running. They want to be aggressive. They can run a good half-court offense, but that's not what they'd rather do. What you see them do when they blow up these leads, they are out and moving. But South Warren, you can tell they have a plan. You can tell Coach Q worked on things this week. And listen, we're starting all over again for the second quarter.
Like Steve said, starting over, we're tied at 8. Carlos Corals, as Steve refers to him, Coach Q. That's what he's known as affectionately, his nickname. I don't know if Coach Unseld has a nickname other than Will. I can't think of one. But again, they're good friends, and Coach Q said that he can't put into words how much he's learned coaching from William Unseld.
Solid matchup here with Brandon Rowe and Cade Unseld.
I tell you what, Steve, Cade Unseld, he gets a lot of acclaim for his offensive game, his outside shooting, rightly so. He is a very solid defender.
He is.
This time, Cade Unseld is guarding Bryce Button. As we're just underway in the second quarter, we're tied at 8. You can see Marlo Hazard, the principal of Warren Elementary. He's now got a seat taking photos on the baseline. He's sitting between the Warren Central cheerleaders. And again, as Steve and I have talked about, Marlo Hazard, just a wonderful ambassador for Warren County Public Schools. Andrew Goley bringing the ball up court against Isaiah Villafuerte. Both wear the number 1. Rowe being guarded by Villafuerte. That's a three-point attempt by Drew Hudson. No, and Whitney gets the rebound. And here come the Dragons with a chance to take the lead. Unseld, I think they're going to get a foul there, Steve, don't you?
Yeah, I believe so.
They called it. Coach Q has a better viewpoint than us, Steve, and judging by his reaction, he thought it was a foul too.
All right, he didn't have any reaction, did he?
Right, no. Steve, I asked you what makes William Unseld a great coach. What do you think makes Carlos Corals, Coach Q, a really good coach?
The exact same thing.
Okay.
Exact same thing. Look at the way his players carry themselves. Both these coaches are great role models for these young men.
The biggest obvious difference
They're going to get 13 on the foul here.
That's Omari Glover. The biggest difference between Coach Unseld and Coach Q is obvious, and that's their respective height.
Well, yeah. I wasn't going to go there because I'm vertically challenged, but Coach Q and I would see eye to eye on that.
But they carry themselves the same way, and again, both outstanding coaches. It's 9-8, Warren Central leading after the free throw.
Oh, they missed a good look. Good flash down in the paint.
That's Drew Hudson. There you go.
Third time's the charm.
Again, he didn't play the other night. Of course, his dad is WKU volleyball coach Travis Hudson. And Drew is averaging double-digit points this year. And there's Drew getting the rebound over to Wells Bratcher.
Good choice to get it back to goalie.
And what's happened here, Steve, good pass. Rowe down low, kicks it over to Linhart. Back over to Rowe. He gets it over to Linhart. South Warren showing really good judgment in this half-court offense, Steve.
Right.
Yeah.
Warren Central's a great shot-blocking team, and if you give them the opportunity and flash that ball in front of them, they're going to get a hand on it. So bringing it back out was the right move. They've had success by being patient on their offensive end.
It's 11-9. South Warren leading Warren
foul
Central.
on walk-up.
Okay. Not many fouls in this first half so far. Just 3 on Warren Central, 2 on South Warren.
Could be 2 on walk-up.
And that is a big development. As Steve said,
he's an active player for them.
Yes, that is a big development. Now, as we've talked about, another thing Warren Central has is really good depth. Coach Unseld will go 9, sometimes 10 deep. There's Hudson. He likes that spot.
That he does.
14-9. South Warren leading Warren Central by 5. And Steve, this crowd's getting into the game, and those Spartans players are gaining confidence. Walk up. No. Nice rebound by Jefferson. No.
Thought that might have been. Walk up's got to be careful. I thought that could have been a foul. It could have been number 3, and that's not what Coach Unseld wants.
Chappelle Whitney's going to
he's going to come in for him. Yeah, Coach Unseld saw the same thing.
Yeah. I was wondering, Steve, how much Mar Walkup was going to stay in the game with 2 fouls. Yeah. Especially the kind of depth the Dragons have. I'll tell you what, Steve, if the Spartans score on this possession, let's hear how loud this crowd will get.
Yeah.
Linhart over to Drew. There's that spot again. Ooh, just up. Yep.
They're going to get Posey with a push.
Yep. Brandon Smith, the tremendous head football coach of South Warren, in attendance tonight. Talking with athletic director Jeffrey Ashby. Of course, Jeffrey Ashby used to be an assistant coach under Coach Smith on the football team. Here's Cade Unseld. Very nice. Oh, boy, how did that note go in, Steve?
Unseld's going to pick up a foul. You may be seeing a little frustration on Warren Central's part. This game is not going. You see them huddling up together, try to keep their composure. This game is definitely flowing the way South Warren wants it to. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to the whole game, but at this moment it is.
Steve, as you said, this game has unfolded exactly the way the Spartans want so far.
I think Rowe was looking for contact even when he went up with the ball.
Yep. They're going to get a foul right there on Justin Posey. I think it's non-shooting. Nope, they're going to call 2 shots. So Chappelle Whitney will go to the line. You're right, Steve. Great point on Brandon Rowe. He was looking for contact. And there
you could kind of see him look back as he went up instead of looking at the rim.
Yep. Wow.
Whitney, a pretty good, all of Warren Central is a pretty good free throw shooting team.
Yep. It's 14-9, South Warren leading Warren Central. Second free throw, good. And that makes it 14-10. Warren County Public Schools Sports Network brought to you by Prep Spin. South Warren doing a nice job handling the full court pressure so far.
Whoa, I got to call that.
That is on Chappelle Whitney.
Foul number 21, Chappelle Whitney, his first
foul. That's Warren Central's sixth foul.
Sixth, so they will be in the bonus. South Warren will be in the bonus on the next foul.
4:23 to go in the first half. The Spartans leading the Dragons 14-10. Warren Central defeated South Warren by 31 3 nights ago. But late in the third quarter, South Warren was within 9 with a chance to go to 7, and Warren Central basically wore South Warren down. That's Brandon Rose, had a nice first half. Gets it over to Andrew. Well, there you go. Gets it over to Justin Posey. Drew Hudson, who's hit a couple of 3 balls from the corner to give South Warren the lead. There's Linhart. Nice defense by Kate Unseld. So here come the Dragons, trying to cut it to 2, perhaps 1. And
nice feed into the paint.
Yep.
But we talked before, Mike, about putting the ball on the floor when you're that deep. You know, when you receive that pass that deep in the paint, you need to go straight up.
Good things never happen when you do that, do they, Steve?
You bring, you know, Kate's got such great leaping ability, but when you put that ball on the floor, everybody's the same height.
Warren Central has the arrow. So they'll inbound the ball. And that is a very nice baseline jumper, turned around by Omari Glover. South Warren boys soccer coach Tom Alexander in attendance tonight. Another one of the great coaches in our school district. It's 14-12, Spartans leading. Ooh, that was a dangerous pass.
Still a lot of contact there.
Yep.
It's got to be able to come down with it.
Uh-oh.
There's an unforced turnover.
Yep. You know, Steve, and here's the thing. So far, you feel like Warren Central has been outplayed a lot by the Spartans, and you
It's
look
just
up.
a one-score game.
Yeah. They can tie the game right here. Maybe take the lead. Yeah. So here comes Isaiah Villafuerte bringing the ball up court. He's got Tavion Wells and Kate Unseld on the wing. Now joined out front by Whitney. That's Unseld. That's Villafuerte. Oh, wow.
Wow, bank shot.
It's a 3, and Warren Central has the lead. 15-14. Posey. Well, now Warren Central, that's what they want.
Right, this is what they want. There you go.
Timeout, Coach Q. Timeout. And he gets one. We'll keep it right here. Steve, how quickly did this game go from 14-9 to now 17-14?
5-point swing right there.
Yeah. Wow. So here we are, 17-14. Warren Central leads. And again, Coach Q sensed what was happening, got that timeout. As expected, Steve, good game so far.
Very good so far, you know. While, you know, they made a little run on there and Warren Central's pulled out a 3-point lead, you know. We're 2 minutes to go in the first half, and, you know, this is a good, solid ball game.
So both teams will break the timeout huddle. Well, South Warren will have the ball. They are trailing by 3. They led by as many as 5. And so Andrew Goley will bring the ball up. Warren Central with 3/4 court pressure. That's Andrew Linhart over to Goley. Goley doesn't shoot a lot, but does a lot of nice things for South Warren.
He handles the ball real well.
He does.
Another unforced turnover.
Yeah. Wow.
Warren Central beginning to feel it a little bit.
That three-pointer by Villafuerte. Steve, haven't 2 of their baskets come on unforced turnovers here recently?
Yep. I want to say 2 of their last 3.
Warren Central on an 11-0
nice
run.
fake by Posey.
Very nice.
Nice patience.
Spartans needed that bucket.
They needed an answer.
Yep. It's now 20-16.
Thought he'd travel there, but what do I know?
That's Wells. No. Button with the rebound. And here comes goalie.
Yeah, I thought goalie's done a solid job handling the ball tonight.
He has.
And that's what you've got to have against this Central team. You've got to have somebody that's sure-handed and fearless.
And he also, I think, has done a nice job passing out of those double teams and traps, Steve. We're under a minute to go in the first half. Here's Brandon Rowe. Kicks it out to Linhart. Very nice. Very nice.
You know, you got to say that Warren Central took a couple of shots there and got up on him, but South Warren's answered. And here comes Posey. He's going to hold it up. You know, if I were them, I would say for one shot. And I think Central feels that. That's why they're going to put some more pressure on him, try to force them into a turnover or taking a shot.
23 seconds left. 20-19, Warren Central.
One thing they can't do is wait too long before they initiate a move.
That's right. Now we're down to 12 seconds. Spartans trying to end the half by taking the lead.
There's
the three-pointer by Linhart. No. He's going to get a follow. He was out of bounds. Yep, he was out of bounds.
Well, that would have been a heartbreaker if it fell.
Yeah.
If it fell in after he stepped out of bounds.
0.2 of a second left here. I don't know if Warren Central can get a shot off here, Steve.
I don't either.
I think maybe it can only be a tip play, and that's going to be how the half ends. Yep. Good half, Steve. Really good half. 20-19.
I think Coach Q has got to be pleased with his squad's effort. You know, not to take anything away from Warren Central because, you know, they were taking South's best shot and still came back to take the lead. But, you know, listen, let's be realistic about this. Warren Central needs this to be a solid, quality game. You know, they're going into tournament time, too, where, you know, it's one and done. You take a loss and you're done. And so they need to be challenged. Coach Unsell, I'm sure, wants them to be challenged and see how they can react, both offensively and defensively. Can they keep their composure when the game is not flowing the way they want to? You know, and I thought definitely the first quarter, South Warren was in control of the pace of the game. I thought the second quarter it went back and forth a little bit, but, you know, credit South Warren a lot, but not to take any credit away from Warren Central. They're the real deal. You know, they were taking South Warren's best shots on the chin, and they're still up by one going into halftime.
As Steve mentioned, we're at halftime. Warren Central up one. It's 20-19. We're going to take a break. We'll be back to talk more about this game. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders with the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network.
Kids deserve the space to grow, to play, to explore. And if they get sick or hurt, they deserve a hospital devoted to them. This is our promise, the most advanced care possible, with doctors, nurses, therapists, and surgeons who specialize in getting kids back to simply being kids again. We are UK Healthcare's Kentucky Children's Hospital, and for us, the power of advanced medicine is more than saving lives, it's saving lifetimes.
Girls like you aren't runners, they said. Well, I wasn't.
Let's go ahead and get some pictures of that knee, okay?
6 months, down the drain. Give up?
Keep the rhythm going. Perfect.
Get up.
We don't take it up.
Marcellus,
Who's not a runner now?
thanks for the drink.
I am proof of the power of advanced medicine.
He started the game the way we thought. He needed to exert himself a little bit more. They got to respect him, and when they got to play him straight up. They were kind of playing a matchup zone where it's keeping so I think.
Have some mingy.
Right now.
Well, the pace of that first quarter was South. Some adjustments been made. It looks good.
This is a Mingy moment.
Good luck, Marcellus.
Don't forget to pack 5 pairs of clean underwear.
Okay, Mom.
What's wrong with these? I think we're gonna need a bigger suitcase.
This is a Mingy moment.
Welcome back to South Warren High School. Mike Cleff and Steve Sanders. And you can hear very loud and clear the great job the South Warren Pep Band is doing.
Mike was ready to get up and dance with the YMCA, but I made him sit back down, told him we were going back on the air.
During our break, had a nice chat with Brandon Rowe's dad, Marcellus Rowe. Great to see another bus driver here tonight, Ronnie Rush. Yep. He's someone you've known very well, long time. But Steve, again, the good side with South Warren, they handled the pressure well. They got the tempo to their liking. And to Warren Central's credit, they're playing good defense, and they had that one spurt where they went from down 5 to up 6. And it's, again, that spurtability that Warren Central can do.
But you know, South Warren took it.
They did.
And they didn't, Coach Q took a timeout there.
Yep.
Recognized the flow of the game was changing. Yep. And, that timeout stopped that flow a little bit. And then his players, they sunk a shot down there. And, as soon as they hit that basket, I felt like they thought, all right, we're still in this. We don't have to let them run away with it.
How do you think Coach Unseld feels about his team right now at halftime, how they play?
Well, I mean, they're not playing a bad half at all. I think, they're playing a good half. I think maybe he'd like to see them put a little bit more pressure on the defensive end. They have rebounded tonight on the offensive end. I can think of several occasions where they had multiple shots on the offensive end. But, I'm sure he's in there. He's probably giving South Warren credit where credit's due and telling his players, look, if you want to pull this game out, you're going to have to pick up the pace.
And Steve, the one thing I think you and I both felt, knowing Coach Q and knowing the pride of those South Warren players, they were not going to lose by 31 again tonight. No way.
And you're at home. You got a crowd. Pride is a great motivator.
We're about 4.5 minutes away from the start of the second half. A very tightly contested first half, where Warren Central leads South Warren 20-19. The Dragons coming into the game tonight 18-1, ranked very highly in the state. One poll has them the top-ranked team in the state. Another one has them ranked second. South Warren comes in with a record of 14-3. And, of course, these teams played 3 nights ago, as we mentioned, Warren Central winning.
I think it's important in this second half that South Warren continue to be able to hit the outside jumper. Those 3-pointers that they hit in the first half, that caused Warren Central to have to play defense in a little bit different way. They went back and forth between a man-to-man, a zone, and a little bit of a matchup zone with somebody shadowing Brandon Rowe. But, Warren Central, most schools right now want to play a zone defense, and if that other team's hitting a 3-point shot, it's hard to stay in that zone defense.
You mentioned the outside shooting. Drew Hudson hit those two 3 balls.
Well, he liked that spot on the far side of the baseline.
So here we are. We're just over 3 minutes away from the start of the second half. Steve and I will take another break. Thanks to our sponsors, Med Center Health, UK Healthcare, and Mingy Beef Jerky. We will hear from them coming up right now.
Don't forget to pack 5 pairs of clean underwear.
Okay, Mom.
I think we need to talk to William about a banner. Prep Spin, Warren County Sports Network, even Med Center, hell, whoever's sending the checks in, put a logo on there. And you and I can take it,
this
zip tie
is a Mingy moment.
Hang it outside the press box, whatever.
When that meeting happens, definitely bring it up. Yeah. Or I can even just text William.
Just tell them we're thinking about that.
This is a Mingy moment.
Kids deserve the space to grow, to play, to explore. And if they get sick or hurt, they deserve a hospital devoted to them. This is our promise.
Notice how long Warren Central's in the locker room right now.
Doctors, nurses, therapists, and surgeons who specialize in getting kids back to simply being kids again. We are UJ Healthcare's Kentucky Children's Hospital. And for us, the power of advanced medicine is more than saving lives. It's saving lifetimes.
Girls like you aren't runners, they said. Well, I wasn't.
Go ahead and get some pictures of that baby.
6 months, down the drain. He's not a runner now. I am proof of the power of advanced medicine.
All right, we are back at South Warren High School, and Steve, a very interesting development. South Warren has been out warming up and everything, and Warren Central, with 45 seconds to go in the halftime break, they are just re-entering the court.
Well, you can take a look at their demeanor coming out on the court, you know. I believe, you know, Warren Central top quality, but I think South got their attention in that first half.
And I'll guarantee you, Coach Ensfeld told him, he said, you know the Spartans are going to come out hard tonight,
right,
and play with a lot of pride. And that's what's happened. It's a 1-point margin, and we'll see how this early part of the third quarter transpires. First game tonight, won by South Warren girls basketball over Warren Central 65-38. Steve had the pleasure of interviewing winning coach Lane Embry between games. Lane gracious enough to join us, as the Lady Spartans have won 6 of their last 8 games to improve to 10-10. As for the boys matchup, Warren Central enters tonight 18-1. South Warren enters 14-3. Spartans will get the ball to start the second half, Steve. That's Andrew Goley being guarded by Isaiah Villafuerte. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders. Warren County Public Schools Sports Network, brought to you by Prep Spin. That's a pass to Posey. No, but there's Wells Bratcher.
Good decision.
Yep. Oh, boy. Good look
nice
by Rowe.
Nice open shot by Rowe.
Yeah. Can't ask for anything more other than the ball going through the hoop. Ooh, near steal by Rowe. That's Omari Glover. And they're going to get a foul on Rowe. Of course, Glover a standout on Warren Central's football team.
I think they're going to hang that foul on goalie.
They are going to get goalie, okay. And pass is stolen by Linhart out to
goalie. Didn't know it was coming. Whoa. I think he walked, yeah. I think he kind of slid. I don't know if the floor was a little slick, but he looked up and the ball was coming.
We are just underway here in the third quarter. Warren Central leading South Warren 20-19, and I think they're going to get Justin Posey of South Warren on the foul there.
Foul number 2, Justin Posey, his third.
So non-shooting
It'll
foul.
be 3 on Posey.
Ooh,
he's got to be careful.
That is a development. So the Dragons with a 1-point lead, still looking for our first points of the second half. 6:54 to go in the third quarter. Here's Glover, turnaround, long. It's going to go off the Spartans. They're going to get a foul here, Steve?
I think so.
Ooh, that's
going to be on Posey.
Oh, boy.
4.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. And they couldn't get him out of the game, Steve. No. They tried to get Drew Hudson in. And you know what I'd do here, Steve? I'd go to Whitney, who's being guarded by Posey.
Yep.
He's posted down low. Now they've
switched.
Yep. Yeah. Now Posey is guarding.
They've got Posey on walk-up, who could very well drive on him.
There's Villafuerte, the 3. No. Cade Unseld, offensive rebound. No. Oh boy, walk up. Nice block there.
They're going to get Brandon.
Well, Rowe had the block.
Well,
we'll see who the foul's on. No, it's on Bratcher.
Bratcher.
Yeah. Well, Steve, what does Central have there? 4 shot attempts?
Yeah.
And Walkup will go to the line for 2 free throws. First one, as Steve mentioned, the Dragons are a good free throw shooting team. The second free throw, yep. Those barely touch the rim, Steve. 22-19. Warren Central, first 2 points of the second half. They're up 3. Goalie, the nice pass to Bradford.
Good.
I tell you what, Steve, I think
good recognition of the open man.
I think goalie is a very underrated player.
Right. And I don't care if he scored a single point tonight. He's been crucial to this game.
Absolutely. Nice bucket there by the Dragons. They're back up 3. Here come the Spartans again, handling the pressure. There's goalie over to Hudson. Nice move by Hudson, but the shot won't go. Good effort by Bratcher. Gets it back over to Brandon Rowe. He's being guarded by Omari Glover. Goalie gets it back out to Bratcher. Drew Hudson being defended by Villafuerte. Whitney with the near steal. That's Hudson. In
that
and
touched
out.
another good rebound for Bratcher.
Yep. Nice pass by Rowe. Bratcher.
A lot of contact.
Wells Bratcher with a nice third quarter. He's going to go to the line for 2.
Foul number 13, Omari Glover, his second. At the line, number 34, Wells Bratcher for 2.
Wells Bratcher had a chance to talk with his parents the other night. His dad, Steve, you know this guy from the Fox NFL pregame show, the Hall of Famer Howie Long.
Yeah.
His dad bears a very striking resemblance to Howie Long.
Okay.
Wonderful guy to talk to. And his son is having a really nice third quarter, bringing some good energy to the Spartans.
And some grit down on the rebounding end.
Yep.
Hustle.
It's a 2-point game. The Dragons are leading. 4:51 to go in the third quarter.
So Warren Central try to get some movement in their half-court offense. There we go. Good recognition.
Whitney, Long. There's Walkup with the rebound. And the Spartans get the steal. Goalie over to Linhart. Spartans trying to tie, perhaps take a 1-point lead. And there's Hudson being defended by Cade Unseld. Pass there to goalie, kicks it over to Rowe. Wow, I hope Rowe's okay.
He hit hard.
He landed right on that bad spot of the tailbone, and let's hope that Brandon Rowe is okay. There was nothing malicious about that by Warren Central.
Yeah, he made a good move.
Yeah, and the basket by Brandon Rowe, but more important, we hope that Brandon Rowe is okay. And Carlos Quarles was telling him to stay down there, and the South Warren athletic trainer there tending to him. And just most important, let's hope that wonderful young man is okay. And again, Warren Central was just trying to defend him, and Brandon Rowe went up and he landed awkwardly. We'll keep it here. Looks like he's starting to move a little bit more, and Steve, you know this moment. I've done that before. The part when you get up and take those first 2 steps, oh my goodness. And again, had a chance to visit with a number of Brandon's family members tonight. His mom, his dad, his aunt, and they're helping him up here. That's great to see, Steve. That's great to see. Great hand by both teams. Great hand. Steve, I'll be honest. Was there a foul called?
No.
Okay. And they're going to take Brandon to the locker room to get some treatment. He's walking, but walking gingerly, but that's a great sign, Steve. And Brandon's grandparents watching us, Algie and Betty Smith from Russellville. We're hoping grandson's okay.
You know, with Posey in a little bit of foul trouble and Brandon taking that spill, it's going to change the offensive game plan for South Warren. But,
it is.
but they still, you know, Bratcher's been busting it this third quarter, and, you know, goalie's doing a great job handling the ball, so they just need to make a little adjustment.
And Steve, that makes Posey's 4 fouls even more of a big factor in this game. So we have a tie game, 3:54 to go in the third quarter. Dragons with the ball. Been a wonderful game so far, and again, we hope that Brandon Rowe is okay. We really do. Walk up, nice, very nice. Dragons up 3 by Mar Walkup. Again, his full first name is DeMarion, but the Warren Central family said he likes to be known as Mar. There's Hudson. No.
Man, Bratcher's battling down there.
He is. But Cade Unseld comes away with the ball. There's Walkup. Glover, the drive. No. Hudson with the rebound. And, you know, the other thing is, Steve, they're going to call a foul there. Bratcher will go to the line for 2. The other thing with Rowe out of the game, Steve, pretty much your one legitimate ball handler against the press is Andrew Goley.
I think Glover got a little banged up on that. They're going to get him out, I think.
Okay. That is
three on him also. Another reason he might come out of the game.
Real quick, we'll give our live stream options again. You go to prepspin.com, go.prepspin.com. Our school website, warrencountyschools.org. You can go to the PrepSpin Facebook or Twitter page, or you can go to Roku or Fire Stick TV and look for PrepSpin. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders. Steve, this has been a terrific game so far.
It has. I'm very impressed with both teams. You know, Warren Central, you know, is seeing a different South Warren team tonight, but yet, you know, they're continuing with their effort, and you know, this game's still anybody's game right now.
The young man who hit the free throw there for South Warren, Wells Bratcher, Steve, had a great
word. Great third quarter.
Yeah, and you, to use your adjective, Steve, I thought it was very accurate. He's shown a lot of grit. Isaiah Villafuerte over to Unseld. And
3 seconds.
Yep. Steve, Cade Unseld's a wonderful basketball player, as we talked a lot about, but he's had a quiet game on offense, hasn't he?
Yep, he has.
And that's a credit to the Spartans defense. Now the full court pressure. They brought up Andrew Linhart to help more at the ball handling with Rowe and Posey out of the game. Posey with foul trouble. Rowe left with an injury after making a basket. There's Villafuerte.
It's actually a good job of goalie not fouling him.
Yep. And Warren Central is back up 3. They'll get it over to Bryce Button. He drives, and the pass goes out of bounds. And it's going to be Warren Central ball. Great to see. Brandon Rowe's back in the game. What a wonderful, wonderful sight.
You know, he's a tough kid. He's not going to miss his game if he can help it.
Yep, and that. Now let's see how he plays, Steve, and how he's able to move here, because to say the least, they need him.
Well, and he's a threat. You know, Warren Central's got to respect his abilities, and they're going to have to adjust their defense accordingly.
That's Whitney. Very nice. Warren Central with a 31-26 lead. You know, Steve, tell you how good Warren Central is. South Warren has played a wonderful game, and the Dragons still lead by 5.
Right.
That's Button. No.
This is what South Warren wants to be careful of, is not get them out running too much.
I'm going to make a prediction here, Steve. If Warren Central scores here, Coach Q wants to get the end of the quarter, but he might have to use a timeout.
Touch the wires at the top. No.
Steve, watch. Here's a call that Coach Q is asking.
He's wanting him palming that ball, turning it over.
Yep.
He's been working it.
Good communication between the ref and Coach Q on that. He's, you know, not showing him up, but telling him, you know, I think he's carrying the ball. Yep. There's Hudson. Takes it baseline. fans wanted to foul, but Steve, that looked like a clean block by Tavion Wells. So South Warren keeps the ball. Goalie inbounds to Bryce Button. We have 1:10 to go in the third quarter. Warren Central leading South Warren 31-26. Steve, this was about the point of the first game.
Right.
Where we both,
It got out of control.
Yep. Here comes Villafuerte. That's over to Malik Jefferson. Coach Q does not want to have to use a timeout here, but you feel like one more basket, and Rowe had to call a timeout.
Good call for Brandon, calling timeout there.
Yep, and Steve, you feel like we've reached a crossroads in this game right now with 44.2 seconds left. Dragons up 7. And we'll use that word again, Steve. You know, I get asked by people that have not seen Warren Central play, and they ask me, what's the one word you can use to describe the Dragons? And Steve, you and I both say it, relentless.
Yeah, and you're right. This is a point in the first game where it got blown open a little bit, but you could read lips. I think you'd see Coach Q trying to keep his guys calm. They're laughing a little bit. You know, this is still a ball game. You know,
Coach Q has to be proud of his young men. They have played hard. And you know, Steve, they've gotten efforts, but players that are under the radar like Wells Bratcher.
Yeah, he's had a terrific second half.
Yep. Andrew.
Goalie, yeah. I mean, he's had a terrific game. Just if nothing else, handling the ball, managing the pressure. You know, Brandon with a terrific effort.
You know, Steve, even though he scored very little, I think you could make a case that Andrew Goalie's been South Warren's best player tonight.
I think you could definitely make the case they would not be in this game without him.
So South Warren inbounds the ball after the timeout. It's 33-26 Warren Central. The Dragons going on a run there. 44.2 seconds left, and they get the ball into Rowe, over to goalie.
Warren Central in a man-to-man. Trying to put pressure on the ball. You know what you got to be careful of is not committing a turnover that leads to fast break points. Nice move.
Yep. Brandon Rowe.
He's back.
Makes it a 5-point game. Steve, he's the one South Warren player that can truly break down Warren Central on the dribble. That's why they need him so badly. So here we are, 11 seconds left. Malik Jefferson.
Nice steal.
Drew Hudson with the theft. Over to Rowe. 5 seconds left. Over to goalie. Oh, there was some contact there. Wow. That's Bryce Button with the rebound and the putback. And that's how the third quarter ends. The basket,
they got a foul. They called a foul on it. So chance for a 3-point play. They just don't need to run the lane because time's expired. So
Button with the free throw attempt. Good. Steve, we have a ball game.
2-point game.
33-31 Warren Central.
You know, that timeout Coach Q took, he may have not wanted to, but, man, it calmed his players down.
We'll take a quick timeout. We'll be right back. Good ball game tonight. Warren County Public Schools Sports Network.
Girls like you aren't runners, they said. Well, I wasn't. Six months down the drain. Give up? Or get up? Who's not a runner now? I am proof of the power of advanced medicine.
Welcome back to South Warren High School. Spartans of South Warren hosting the Dragons of Warren Central in the boys game, 33-31. Girls game, our first game tonight, South Warren a 65-38 winner. Steve, to say the least, we got a ball game here in this.
Absolutely.
Credit to both teams in this rematch.
I love to watch Coach Unself's coaching style. He never gets out of his chair.
No.
Yeah, he stays in that chair.
Yep.
He watches it all, takes it all in, and then during breaks in the action, he coaches those kids up.
So Warren Central gets the ball to start the fourth quarter. They have out here walk up Glover. That's Mar Walkup, Omari Glover, Isaiah Villafuerte, Chappelle Whitney, and Cade Unseld. The lineup that they started the game with. South Warren has Andrew Goley, Brandon Rowe, Bryce Button, along with Drew Hudson and Andrew Linhart. Justin Posey.
Oh, I thought he walked.
Ooh. That's what South Warren thought. But they call, I believe, a foul. And they called Drew Hudson. Coach Q didn't like that call. Justin Posey has been on the bench for South Warren for a while with 4 fouls. So the Dragons with the ball with a 2-point lead. Unseld down low being guarded.
That's a charge.
Andrew Linhart sold that call, didn't he, Steve?
He did.
Yep. So the Spartans have the ball with a chance to tie. A 3-pointer would give them a 1-point lead. And again, having Brandon Rowe back to help handle the ball handling.
That's
on
a
the
lot
press.
of body.
Yep. And both teams are getting close to being in the bonus. Both teams have 5 fouls. So Rowe will inbound. He gives it over to goalie. We have played nearly a minute here in the fourth quarter.
You know, this is going to be a good test for Warren Central. How do they handle a team hanging with them?
Hudson, just a little bit off. Dragons get the rebound. Here comes Cade Unseld. Mar walk up over to Cade. Steph Curry like 3. Yes.
Yeah, you could almost see that one coming.
Yep.
After that charge down there, you could see that one coming. Nice shot. He was 2 or 3 steps behind the arc.
This time William Unseld calls the timeout. We'll keep it here, Steve. Coach Unseld called that timeout. There was some instruction he wanted to give. He's just very even-keeled, going over some things. He didn't say much, and the players are now coming back on the court. And there's one of our guys right there. Steve, we know that guy that just said hi to us.
I'd say something bad about him, but he signs the checks.
Chris McIntyre, our chief financial officer. Good as it gets, doesn't he?
It is. He's a great guy.
Yep.
He's done a lot for Warren County Schools. He lends himself to the overall vision, and he has to be the one to make it happen financially, and that's a tough job in today's world. So he does a great job.
His son is on the Spartans baseball team.
Just don't tell him I said that.
Okay, so we're back to action. 6:37 to go. 3-pointer, no. Whitney with the rebound.
South Warren's got to be careful not to get impatient.
Yes.
Warren Central's up by 5. You get a little nervous. You want to get that quick shot.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Steve, I've got to feel like this game might be getting away a little bit from South Warren. Chappelle Whitney has a chance to finish off the conventional 3-point play and give the Dragons an 8-point lead. I'll tell you what, it's an interesting sub, Steve, and I like it. Wells Bratcher coming in.
Yeah, he was tough when he was in there earlier.
So Whitney with a chance to give the Warren Central an 8-point lead, as Steve mentioned.
But this Warren Central squad, they're capable of putting up points quick.
Yes. And I think they're going to, this is good officiating. Basically, telling both players, and they're talking to Andrew Goley and Isaiah Villafuerte. They both have the right to their own space. And Linhart might have to call a timeout.
Yeah, and he can run the baseline because it was a made basket.
Yeah, and Steve, I'm not criticizing Linhart there. I've seen that a lot with players. They forget that.
Right.
They forget that. And now he can't run the baseline when they come back in to inbound the ball. So we'll keep it right here. Steve, you mentioned how quickly Warren Central can score. They put up 10 points when they go on a run faster than anybody, don't they?
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Again, our next live stream will be on Tuesday night. We will be at Ward East for a boys-girls basketball doubleheader between the Lady Raiders and the Raiders of Warren East. They'll be hosting the team that's at home tonight, the Lady Spartans and the Spartans of South Warren. So that's where we'll be Tuesday. And then next Friday, we'll see both of these Warren Central teams again. They'll be at home hosting Greenwood in a girls-boys basketball doubleheader. Both those doubleheaders start at 6 p.m. So this time, Linhart cannot run the baseline, otherwise it's a traveling violation.
No, he still can, since it's still nothing transpired. He can still run it.
Okay, I stand corrected. Thank you. Uh-oh.
But
that's
not what they wanted.
Uh-oh. Well, Coach Q just sagged his head right there.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, boy. It's a 10-point lead. And the pass down low to Rowe. Oh, boy. Good look at it, didn't go, and here come the Dragons, and you just feel this coming, Steve.
Yeah.
You feel it coming. It's a 13-point game. Steve, didn't it seem like about 45 seconds ago it was a 2-point margin?
2, 3, maybe 5 point. They can hang 10 quick.
Oh.
That's a lot of body.
Yeah. Steve, and I want to say this the right way, and I give the officials credit. Warren Central's a hard team to officiate.
Right, because they are very physical.
Yeah. So both teams in the bonus now. Rowe being guarded by Whitney. He's also been guarded by Kate Unseld in this game. Rowe takes it over to goalie. We're under 5.5 minutes to go in the game, and Warren Central has stretched out their lead to 13 points.
Good patience on South Warren's part, but excellent defense on Warren Central's also.
Agreed. Linhart kicks it over to Hudson. Three-pointer. Wow.
Nice shot.
They certainly needed that, as it's now a 10-point game again. Coach Q imploring his team, encouraging them, play defense, defend, play hard. They've been doing that. Dragons up 10, 4:46 to go in this contest. Villafuerte over to Mar Walkup. Glover, nice.
Boy, they gave him the baseline.
Wells Bratcher with the rebound. Gets it out to goalie.
A little bit of a defensive breakdown on South Warren's part, but Warren Central couldn't capitalize on it.
Here's Rowe being guarded by Walkup. That's Drew Hudson. Whitney is on the future Ohio State men's volleyball player. Goalie over to Linhart. There's Rowe. He goes baseline. That's over to Bratcher. Shot by Linhart. No. Tell you what, Steve, that's good defense. And Kate Unsel's going to go to the line for a 1-and-1. Good patience by South Warren. Better defense by Warren Central. Steve, I've really enjoyed this basketball game tonight.
Yeah, it's been a very competitive game.
Great effort.
Both squads were well prepared. They're leaving everything out there on the court.
How do you think William Unseld feels about how his team's playing tonight, Steve?
Well, I don't think he's disappointed. I mean, South Warren's a quality team.
Yeah.
And they made adjustments from Tuesday. We talked on Tuesday. It's hard to play a team twice. In
3 days.
Right, and when you hang 30-something points on them like you did Tuesday, that team's coming for you on Friday. And I'm sure he explained that to his players, and they know it. I mean, his players are good players. They know the game, and they knew South Warren was playing for Pride, and Pride is a tough opponent to beat sometimes.
How do you think Coach Q feels about how his team's playing tonight?
I think he's pleased with their response. They're hanging in. Warren Central gets up now by 14, but his players are still scratching and clawing their way down the court. They get some quality shots. I think he's got to be pleased with their effort.
And again, this game has gone from a 2-point margin to a 14-point margin very quickly.
Posey back in the game. He's going to go to the foul line.
You know, the Warren Central, I'll use the phrase, Steve, it's pick your poison. Unseld can beat you. Whitney can beat you. Glover can beat you. Walkup can beat you. Villafuerte can beat you. You know where I'm going on that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ways. And Steve, here we are. Free throw's good. With 3:22 to go in this fourth quarter. And Warren Central has held South Warren to 35 points.
Right.
I mean, their defense is just, it's suffocating. That's another adjective. Second free throw, no. So Warren Central leads 48-35, 3:18 to go. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders, Warren County Public Schools Sports Network, brought to you by Prep Spin. Walkup, who's been on a very nice run lately in a series of games. There's Cade, Unseld, nice
spin move.
Wow.
Yeah. He's capable of that. He's so athletic. That's such a beautiful move.
That's pretty.
And he's back on defense.
Yep. Rowe gets it over to Hudson. 3. Yes.
Good response. You know, these teams, both of them are still here to play.
Yep. 50-38. There's Glover. No. Rebound. Goalie. Still a lot of time left in this game. Goalie gets it over to Rowe. He's blocked by Unseld.
Tried to take a Euro step and kind of got a little tight down in there.
Yep. There's Whitney. Wow.
That should be a charge. Yep.
And
that's what it is.
The charge, Steve. Guess who threw it?
Goalie took it. He was there. You could see him.
I'll say it again, Steve. I think he's been their best player tonight. And he has barely scored. I can't remember him scoring.
I can't either. But, I don't think they'd be in this game without him.
Yeah. So Justin Posey will inbound for the Spartans. Gets it into Brandon Rowe. Steve, I think 4 different Dragons have taken turns guarding Brandon Rowe tonight. They've just, rotated.
He's a handful, definitely. But, I'd say there's been that many guarding Cade Unseld also because he's a handful.
Yes.
Both these teams are really talented. This is a great game.
It is. There's Rowe, offensive rebound, very nicely done. And it's 50-40.
I'm not sure Coach Unseld's going to be happy with the last couple of minutes of this game. While his team continues to play hard, I mean, South Warren's gotten back in it.
It's a 10-point game, minute 47 to go. Cross-court pass to Whitney, now to Villafuerte. Nice
shot.
He just showed right there that most Dragons followers say he's their best outside shooter after Cade Unseld. It's 53-40. Warren Central, and obviously Villafuerte's a very good ball handler. Minute 23 to go. Rowe, the long 3, short. Whitney, the rebound. He's going to pass it over to Villafuerte. 3, no. And the rebound by Button. I think they're going to get Walkup for a foul. Or is that on Posey?
I think it's going to be Posey. He's pointing the Dragons' way. Yep. That's going to be it for Posey.
And he fouls out. So Andrew Linhart will check in for Posey, who fouls out. Minute 12 left in the game. 53-40, and Mar Walkup will go to the line for the 1-and-1. Dragons, if they hold on, will go to 19-1 on the season. If the score holds true to form. Free throw's no good. And look
Whitney with a good rebound.
Yep.
Got good position in there.
South Warren will be 14-4. Steve, it's a 15-point margin right now. It certainly hasn't felt that way.
No.
That's Andrew Linhart. Shot, no.
Tough angle there.
Yep. And here come the Dragons. It's Glover. Reverse layup. Nice.
Nice move.
Nice. We're down to 40 seconds left. Warren Central leads 57-40. Drew Hudson, no. Bryce Button, the rebound. And Andrew Linhart will wind up for the 3, yes. 57-43. And the Dragons come back.
Coach Gum telling them to slow down.
Yep.
You know, let's just go home.
Yep.
With a big W. Good effort.
Yep. Yep. 14-point game.
That.
14-point game, and it didn't feel like that. Steve, this has been a fun game.
Nice.
And the biggest thing is, so glad to see Brandon Rowe come back after that frightening spill and play. Steve, I'll use a boxing analogy. I feel like Warren Central took a lot of great punches and the best punch from South Warren. And here they are. They win by 14. A lot of credit to both teams. Don't you feel the same way?
Absolutely. 3 days ago, Warren Central won by 30, how many?
31.
And this was a game all the way down to the last couple of minutes. This was a game, And again, great moment with Coach Q and the players over there,
Yep, both these players know each other. Both these teams know each other very well. Coach Q describes Coach Enseld as his coaching mentor, and they're both very, very good friends. And again, Coach Enseld's not surprised. He knew that South Warren would come at him all the way tonight, and they did. Steve, I think with about 7 minutes left, it was a 2-point game.
Right. Yeah. They had a great plan. They held with it, but let's give credit where credit's due. Warren Central. I mean, they're a tough opponent on anybody's schedule, and they showed it. Listen, not everybody's going to have their best game every night, but what Warren Central showed you is they can not have their very best game, but they can still pick up the W.
On the South Warren side, Steve, again, the effort, tremendous. Andrew Goley, I don't even know if he scored. Brandon Rowe played well. Drew Hudson played well, hit some big three-pointers. But I thought Andrew Goley was their best player.
Well, and listen, they looked a lot better tonight. And we've seen them play some really good basketball this season so far.
Yep.
Warren Central's a juggernaut. They're tough for anybody in the state. But listen, Warren Central held the form to what they do best. And again, I think at the end of the day, Coach Unsel's going to be glad they got challenged.
Before I ask you about Warren Central, the South Warren Pep Band is walking behind us after a wonderful night of playing and bringing a lot of enthusiasm to tonight's girls-boys basketball doubleheader. So they deserve lots of props. Now, Steve, on the Warren Central side, Kate Unseld was quiet for a while, but Steve, he hit that Steph Curry distance three, and it seemed to pump a lot of life into them.
Right, and then he had that move down in the post.
Ooh, yeah,
that spin move that, it's just hard to defend at the high school level. I mean, that first step and spin, that's just tough. So, yeah, again, Warren Central is showed why they are one of the top two teams in the state of Kentucky. And, if I'm South Warren, I'm looking at this and, there are no moral victories, but, we're playing one of the top two teams, potentially the top team in the state of Kentucky, and we held right in there with them till the last 6-7 minutes.
I'll tell you what, this time, Steve, though, I don't think South Warren wore down. I just think Warren Central made some big plays, made some big shots. And I'm sure Coach Q is telling them, proud of you guys. But like you said, no moral victories, and let's learn from this. And with Warren Central, they know the barometer. They know where they need to get. And you mentioned it was a great point on the Warren Central side. They come out with the win. They knew what they were going to get from South Warren, but at the same time, Coach Enseld can tell his young men, don't you feel, Steve, that these are some things that we need to do better?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Steve, this has been a fun doubleheader.
Has been everything we'd hoped it'd be. Both teams gave great effort. Both teams in the first game gave great effort. Next up on our schedule is Tuesday night at Warren East, correct?
Yeah. And, in fact, next week we will see all 4 Warren County schools. Tuesday, good. South Warren at Warren East. And then next Friday, Greenwood at Warren Central. So, Steve, I don't know about you. I'm ready to call tonight.
I am too. I'm a little bit tired, I have to admit.
All right. Steve, it's been fun. We're going to call tonight. As always, thank you very much for joining us on the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. We'll be back with you Tuesday night at 6 p.m. from Warren East High School. Be safe, take care, and we'll be back at you in 3 days from now, I think. That's 3 days. Yeah, 4 days from now.
4 days,
my
yeah.
math's getting bad. 4 days from now. So anyway, have a great night. Take care.
Girls like you aren't runners.